Y'all's the hate on all of my moves, but now niggas on it. Y'all used to bait me on me and my views, but now niggas on it. I used to tell them I'ma have me a show, but now niggas on it. Her homies on it, your homies on it. Y'all's the hate on all of my moves, but now niggas on it. Y'all used to debate me on me and my views, but now niggas on it. I used to tell them I had me a show, but now niggas on it. Her homies on it, your homies on it.
That'll never not be funny.
It's because I'm never ready for it. It's just funny.
What up, what up? We back, the realest podcast ever. It's your boy C. Diddy.
Y'all know what the fuck going on. I mean, it makes me sick.
Can you? All right, yeah, there we go. Like some sound.
Why are you having so much trouble?
Probably important when you're doing an audio podcast, right? Need to get the sound right. We here live, TRPE Studios, live from the Cribbo. Getting it in. Coming off of a busy weekend, NFL weekend, Janet Jackson documentary, did some Patreons, all type of stuff going on this past weekend.
A whole lot of shit, man. Did you see Cam on Fun Flex?
Yes, and what I was going to say is, because I was in the other room, I couldn't help but hear you saying, "Get him, daddy," and I'm just like, yo, I couldn't watch Cam freestyle because I couldn't get over, one, Cameron is a dark-skinned black man now.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot darker.
That's confusing to me. And then number two, he looks like he's smoking entirely too much weed now. Like his lips are cooked. Pause. And I just can't particularly understand that either.
Yeah, I didn't really even notice. I guess I didn't really, because I had it playing in the car.
Okay, so got it. So, yeah, I was watching it and I was like, I'm cutting this off. Like
I like Cam. You know what I'm saying?
Cam is a important figure in rap history. Very colorful guy, lyricist, great song maker, has an excellent catalog.
Can I play this?
Getting nervous cause they know that old killer anytime could resurface. Shout to Swiss though, I'm still eating off the verses. Homie, I got more than the fighters and I ain't boxed. I got the upfront, back end, door money and stock. So when Triller went public, never mill out the box. Maybe over your head, but I don't care about no props and no nah. This is not a shot at the locks, cause them is my niggas. They solidified they spot now. Kiss, right? I told you about my crib in Miami, but he ain't mentioned Cali or my villa out in Maui or Vegas or Jersey or my time sharing Valley or my ranch out in Idaho. I tell my neighbors, howdy.
Cam is a unique fella, man.
That's what we wanted Cam to do at the Jones,
exactly.
But he had so much Molly in his system, he just couldn't freestyle at the moment.
The fact that Cam showed up to the verses separate from Jim Jones and Jewels with a separate 19 niggas just lets you know, like, oh, these niggas about to get cooked.
Yeah,
like, it's no solidarity, it's no unity, it's no nothing. I'm here for the paycheck.
Yeah,
Cam probably told them niggas, I'm getting the whole percentage of Triller.
It's a good look for you.
Y'all should just do it for the exposure. You got to have mixtape coming out, right, Jim? Yeah. It's one of them Jones or whatever. But yeah, Cam can still rap.
They got cooked on the verses. We was dead wrong.
Yeah,
about that.
we were, listen, that was one of our wronger Jones. Like, we were so wrong. Niggas was like, y'all niggas was wrong. Like, niggas was telling us how wrong we was for 2 weeks.
Yeah, my pop mentioned it. Like, why are you even into this? Like, you know, but that right there is Cam at his best. That's when Cam can be funny as shit.
Yes, it's the wit.
The wit. Yeah. That's the Cam shit. Yeah. And the verses, they had none of it.
Yeah, they got pummeled.
And even him acknowledging in it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you know, like, no, when verses went public, I got paid off of it. It's like, cool, but you know.
You got pummeled.
You got pummeled. You know what I'm saying?
You got speed beat, as they call it in the hood.
Pain is pleasure. I get what you're saying, but you know. But no, the Funk Flex freestyle, I always like Cam. Like, Cam is just always a good MC to me.
Yeah, for sure.
There'd be days where I'll have Cam in my top 10. Just, if I get to where I'm listening to enough Dipset shit back to back to back, you'll catch me be like, yo, Cam was really all that. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I'm talking about 357, like Confessions of Fire, Harlem World Cam. The Cam was an animal, man.
Somebody asked me on the Patreon a couple months ago, and I'll ask you live on the show. This is unscripted. Cameron or Jim Jones? People have been trying to make a case that arguably Jim Jones has a better catalog than Cameron.
Jimmy. Cameron is by far and away a better rapper.
Correct.
It goes
because y'all know we like to break down the criteria.
It goes into the Jay Nas shit. Neither of them are Jay. Neither of them are Nas. But to where I personally think Nas is a better lyricist than Jay-Z. That's just I as far as I'm concerned, that's facts. I think Jay's just a better rap artist. He's a better figure in rap.
Right.
That's kind of how I look at Jim and Cam. Like Jim Jones is weirdly likable.
Yes.
Cam is like annoying to people. You know, like Jim Jones can walk in with 90 chains and it's like, look at Jim being Jim. Cam walking with 90 chains, like, look at his asshole.
Jim definitely has the intangibles of the likability piece.
Even when Jim is being a complete asshole.
Like, well, no, because the boy was looking at his shoes. You know what I'm saying? He should have smacked the shit out of that cameraman.
You see, remember Jim had to shit on the reality show with the little fat camera guy, the little producer.
Preston.
Preston. It's just like, this is Jim just being
all the chicks was reposting that shit for 2 months. This is the type of energy I'm talking about. Don't play with me. It was my man gonna get in your shit.
It was a little Italian Peruvian man that Jim just ran down on.
Put him in the camera.
No, right here. Say something to the camera.
Apologize to my wife.
It was ridiculous. It's like, but that's Jim. But then he'll turn around and cry on Funk Flex, and everybody's like, "Look at Jim, no Chanel for this month." That fucking fervor. It's like that's Jim, but just Cam is he. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, Cam. I don't particularly think he's abrasive, but I think that's his public persona. And sometimes you got to wear that. And because people don't like him as a person, I think there's been like a movement to basically be like, well, no, I mean, if you really look at it, Jim got it.
I think the underlying thing with it's like Cam broke up The Rock.
Yes.
So in a weird way, our age group probably like has like a little resentment
fucking point
towards him that they don't even realize they might.
Jay went on vacation, came back, Cam had all this. All you niggas is fine.
Attention, Cameron Jones. What is Mill Everett? What's this shit going through? Like Jay lost his shit when he got back there. Sparks said Jay straight moved his office to not have to get on the elevator with
he went to the other side of the building.
Yeah.
Hey, Leo, y'all got any offices over there?
I'm taking elevator 3. Not getting on that shit with them niggas. So it's like, that could be it. You know, Cam, for what that's a tough one. Because Cam, at the end of the day, he got old boy. And old boy, like, and we make the distinction a lot. And I want to speak, because me, Ryan, and Joe, we had got to it the other day. Like, what niggas be viewing as, like, the goings-ons of it? Like, I get it. Black culture influences the entire world. Hip-hop, urban culture is just, it's pop culture.
There's Crips in motherfucking Japan.
But I personally feel like there are some Jones that just, when you reach certain plateaus, you just reach certain plateaus.
Right.
Me knowing that Cameron with Old Boy had the biggest radio record in Def Jam history, that shit for me was just like, no, wait. They put out Get At Me, Dog.
Right.
They put out Hard Knock Life. They put out I Need My Radio.
Yeah.
Like
Can I Get Her? Like all these records.
So when I look at it, I'm like, that's the biggest radio record in Def Jam history up until Umbrella dropped. And it's just like, damn, Cam, like Sparks like, yo, Cam went 6 mil with a song that they straight didn't mix down. A song they stole from Jay and
let's hear him put this out for Jay. Get it.
Let's hurry up, Jay at lunch. Over at lunch. Like, so knowing that is just like, man, it's hard to go against that. And then Cam spawns Jim. Like, we don't even listen to Jim if it's not for Cam. But then Jim got, you know, I wear mean dog pants shades. Like, it's hard to go against that because I don't give a fuck who you is. Everybody done thrown up a jump shot. You know what I mean? So
it was the fucking theme song for the New York Giants when they won the Super Bowl.
And that's what I like. You know, it was funny because we was having a conversation the other day about Wiz Khalifa because he had a video where he was talking about like everything that he does, he gets percentages of. He don't like doing deals with no companies where he's just like the face.
Got it.
And doesn't like, oh, we'll give you $500,000 as a what they call it? not licensing, but
like a spokesperson.
Yeah, we'll give you $500,000. And every deal he says he's ever done, if they throw that at him like a check, he'll renegotiate to get like a percentage, because it's like, what happens when this shit go public? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Give me half check and half
what Cam
ownership.
was talking about with the Triller shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get it fucked up. Like, you know, there was a bigger thing at hand, because, you know, everybody who was in that shit got paid in that shit. And Jules was like, I wonder what Wiz Khalifa is sitting on money-wise. I'm like, he got to be worth every bit of at least $60 million.
Yeah, at least 50, 60.
And he was like, you think? I'm like, dog, he has like 5 theme songs.
Yeah.
Like how you just said, like Jim had the theme song for the Giants. Wiz Khalifa has the theme song for the Steelers and the Cowboys. Yeah. And he has the theme record to Fast and the Furious soundtrack.
Yeah, he has the first. That song is the first rap record to go a billion streams.
Dog.
Like he invented, he made that a thing.
It's
like,
14 times platinum. I'm not trying to be funny. Have you ever noticed that Wiz Khalifa is like a superstar and all he does is smoke reefer and kickbox?
Yeah.
He doesn't really do anything.
Wiz said, you know what? I've been skinny my whole life. I'm going to be an MMA fighter.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah. And so we went and look, Wiz Khalifa's worth $70 million. I'm like, he has to be.
Yeah.
Like, he just made too much money off of it. Once he had Black and Yellow was one thing. Yeah. Once We Them Boys dropped and that became the Cowboys joint, I'm just like, dog, these records are going to play for like the end of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And once the Fast and the Furious shit happened,
yeah, you're in another stratosphere at that point.
You out of there. But to bring it back, I'm taking Cam's body of work over Jim.
I almost think you have to. You know, my
357 Horse and Carriage
from the beginning. Fantastic Four, banned from TV. It's like so. It's like my thing is in a vacuum.
Fantastic Four was a joint on Clue Part 2.
Yeah.
All my life, we were back in the day. We were slaves.
Whips and chains. Now
it's
look
tradition.
at it.
All we got whips and chains. I remember when that shit dropped.
So it's like in a vacuum.
Yeah, it's not even close.
In a vacuum, and that was my answer. It's not close. It's like, yo, if you add up everything from the Clue tapes and the K Slate tapes and this and this through Confessions of Fire,
Cam's takeover freestyle on the Empire Strikes Back. Like, yeah, it's too much of that.
Then
it's not as close as I once
and
thought.
He went at it with Nas and backed Nas down. Nas waved the white flag. That nigga said, I take your daughter R. Kelly had my way with her face. Nigga was like, Cam, relax. Like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Are you okay?
What's funny is I do the 9 every morning and you come past the Curtis on 7th and Walnut, and every time I see the sign
Curtis! It was like Cam has those iconic moments on top of the records that back
you
it up.
Mad?
Right. Bill O'Reilly, Cam Ryan, Dave Dash. Like, it's just certain shit culturally.
If you have a serial killer living in your building, you ain't gonna tell the police. Like, I mean, I'd move, but
telling no police. Like, none of this makes sense.
Hey, look, I gotta break my lease. Boy, wildin'
was it 2.5 times the rent?
Yeah. Boy, 19F tripping down there. I got to get the fuck out of here.
It's getting spooky up here. I need to get up out of this. I need to get up out of this job.
Damn, I gotta pay 2 months in advance to break the lease. Damn,
so it's like when you go just album for album, it's like you got Confessions of Fire, Sports, Drugs, and Entertainment, Come Home With Me, the Crime Pays album, which has Sucker or Not on there.
Cam the first person to go platinum.
Killer Season.
The first person to go platinum on the rock besides Jay.
Yeah,
that says a lot.
Yeah, and then you got the Diplomat albums. He anchored those, all the good ones. He anchored those before they start getting weird. Where he's like, "Who is Taliban Tommy? Like, why is he on 9 songs on this double disc? Like before the Diplomat brand got just slutted out at Koch. So it's like, it's like
Purple City Headhunters. And shit.
It's like, what is this?
This is getting weird.
Lennox Ave, Luger toters and all that stupid shit. It's like, yo, man, we don't have time for this. Like who anything that said executive produced by Duke the God, you knew that was not an official Diplomat. Really.
Gotta give a shout out to Hell Row. That's my folks.
Hell Row was all dog. Get him, daddy. Dog. I say it all the time.
We need to interview Hell Row. That's a hell of an interview.
And that's where I was going at. I got Hell Row lined up for the interview.
Hey, listen,
he lives in Philly now.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
When Get 'Em Daddy dropped, I played that fucking record. So when Cam said they asked
LRL
me,
phone freestyle was legendary.
Oh, on the jail joint, right? Yeah. When they asked me what label I'm signing to, I said I'm the CEO of Diplomat Records. I signed myself. Get your fucking cake up. That's the greatest intro ever. And him and Hell Row annihilated that fucking beat.
Yes,
but yeah, Jim. I like him.
Jim personality is magnetic. Like
if I had to interview one, I would rather interview Jim.
I saw Jim Jones. Remember when I think it was like maybe like an MTV True Life or something like that, where Jim Jones was banned from all the clubs in New York for beating up all the bouncers, and he's out front talking to the boys like, "Come on, man!" He's like, "Jim, I fuck with you, my nigga, but you know you banned." Like Jim was like, "Come on," it's like that sort of thing where it's like, you know, you beat up 9 bouncers last week. What are you doing here? I want to let you in, but I can't. Like. It's like even when the niggas putting boot the ass, you still like, what is Jim?
Now I will say in the end of the Jim Dipset shit, Jim got more accepted throughout the industry.
Absolutely.
Like, cause even like when you look at like he's on the They Know remix and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He got a popping song right now with Migos. You know? Like Jim got a little bit more dug in with like.
Yeah, Cam and like if Cam put
he major behind the scenes though. He make a lot
he
of
was an A&R at was it Warner Brothers?
Yeah. And it's like
he started the Love and Hip Hop franchise.
Exactly. Then he was a VP at Koch and all that shit. So it's like, and now he's got his own label with Empire or whatever. He's got like a mini Empire under Empire or whatever, because him and Ghazi been doing business forever. So it's like, Jim is that nigga. Jim a trend. Both of them are trendsetters. You know, they got their roles and things like that. Cam just got a more prickly personality, and it's like the difference is when Jim puts an album out, he got all the who's who in the industry on there because everybody fucks with Jim. And when Cam put an album out, it's Cam. Like it's nobody. Right. It's not featuring nobody. It ain't introducing this nigga like nobody. And Cam being a shrewd businessman. Also fucked up his like public perception because like you sold Jewels to Def Jam, like shit like that. Right. You allegedly fucked Jimmy around, you know what I'm saying? As far as like the splits and all that and what you could take versus what you should take on them first couple Koch albums. Like
get on that like get on that auction block, boy. Like it came off like
it's
that.
like that sort of shit. To where it's just like, this not a good John. And then like, you know, he recently having issues with Hell Rel and Vado again, and it's just like, you haven't done music with these niggas in a decade. Like, what are y'all having issues about? Stop saying my name, B.
I'm talking to my man. He said Cam really do. Got the iPhone 3 with all the
all the receipts in it.
And he will show it.
Little ass iPhone. Look at this shit right here.
Y'all bitch ass niggas.
With his little ass phone.
Y'all niggas been bitching since it was green text.
Yo. Real shit.
So shout out to Cam and Jim Jones, man. Both legends in their own right. I'm gonna give the nod to Cam though when it comes to music and catalog and everything like that. Cam is tough to beat. Give you another one. This probably gonna be easier than I think. Cam or Mase?
Mase.
I want to say Mase, but he don't have enough shit.
Mase,
but his ability, I think his ability is way higher than Cam.
Mase rapped with Biggie and the Lox and really like was with like running around a lot of them in a lot of different situations.
They said that when he was like on his Murder Mase shit, they said he would just show up everywhere, all around Harlem, Yonkers, Bronx, whatever. He would battle anybody, and they said he used to battle the Lox by himself. Like he would just not. They say he refused to stop rapping.
Dog.
Like they would just be like, "Yo, you not done? Like what's wrong with you?" Like no, take this other one with you. Man. Like they said he had his hat on backwards. He had on his fucking tank top, flip flops, ball shorts, and he would just rap for hours.
Yo, me, I go for self. So I go. What was the joint he had with Biggie and Styles? I had $1,000 bills when they was Teddy Roosevelt. It's a lowdown. I'm telling you now. Put the dough down. Kick your dough down. Surround the block where you go now. Down. 50 shots spit at you, and that's not a whole round. The way I lay the furniture, you think it was coke found. Like Mase was nasty.
Mase was that nigga, yeah.
Mase was all that. And then he went 7 mil. Yeah. Like he did it on both sides. Like you know his battle attitude. You know he would rap with anybody. Puff had to make him Mase.
Right.
I was murdered. P. Diddy
made me pretty. Did it for the money. Now can you get with me?
So it's like, like Mase is.
I want to say Mase, but it's just like over time for me, it's like consistency matters.
Are there who you got? Is he you got to like best rapper from Harlem type shit?
Yeah.
Are there any other big ones I can't really think about?
I mean, you know, so a nigga somewhere with a JanSporter on that's gonna be like, well, what about Big L?
Yeah, I used to. From what I've heard from Big L, I liked Big L.
Yes,
but it's one of those like big question mark Jones. You know what I mean? Yeah. Brandon Roy. Brandon Roy was all that, but the knee gave out.
Right.
So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you just can't do that. And I hate that people do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, like with Spade and Beans. It's like, yeah, Spade was phenomenal, but
Beans got 9 albums.
But Spade was going for it, what, 15 a dub? So,
no, like 9.
I'm spicing it.
Yeah, like 9.
But, you know, it's like, just you just can't put them in that rounding all of this up. That was the joint I had the other day. So Rock comes in the chat, was like, me and Rock going to the game tonight. We're going to get to that. Because now Embiid's not playing tonight. Right.
Come on, man.
They're getting ridiculous with it. Anyway, Rock comes in the chat like, yeah, I went on a date, man. And girl, she was like, yo, Boyz II Men. She told me Boyz II Men's better than Jodeci. And like, I'm like offended. And I'm just like, she's 100% right. So he like, nah, man, y'all tripping. Like Jodeci, they just was too authentic and this and the third. And I'm like, here's the thing. You can't really compare them. He was like, boys, same kind of shit you said. Boyz II Men was corny, this and I'm like, yeah, they were in 2 completely different lanes. Right. But I'm like, here's the thing. When you talk about success, Boyz II Men is in another stratosphere.
Absolutely.
Than every other group.
Yeah, they had Babyface and Dallas Austin behind them.
Like Boyz II Men, like I was explaining, I'm like, you know what the number one of all time is now? It's Old Town Road, Lil Nas X and Billy Ray Cyrus, 19 weeks at number 1. Boyz II Men broke that record at the time with End of the Road. It was number 1 for 12 weeks. That's 3 months at number 1.
Right.
They had the record for the longest running number 1. Boyz II Men then broke that with I'll Make Love to You. Yeah. That was number 1 for 14 weeks. That's 3.5 more months. They broke that record with One Sweet Day with Mariah. That was number 1 for 17 weeks. My nigga, that's a summer.
3 records.
At number 1, they had 3 records that was literally number 1 for a year combined in there. Then On Bended Knee took fucking One Sweet Day out of there. That was number 1 for 7 weeks. I'm like, when you talk about like success and you Boyz II Men went diamond. You can't really mention them. And he's like, yeah, no, they so different in 2 different lanes, and you know they was going after different things, and I'm like, right. So that's what I'm saying. You can't really compare. I'm like, Boyz II Men knew, yo, we want to get part of Broad Street named after us. Right. They did that. Jodeci wanted to smoke Sherm. You know, like, they both accomplished the things they wanted.
And DDT Mary J. Blige.
I'm like, yo, KC.
No disrespect.
KC was like, I want to smoke crack and fight Mary J. He accomplished these things. Yes. JoJo was like, yo, I want to pull my dick out on stage. He accomplished that. He got 24 counts of lewd and indecent exposure for pulling his dick out on stage. They accomplished the things they wanted to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? Like they both reached the pinnacle of their success that they wanted. I'm like, but you can't really compare the two.
Nah, you really can't. And I'm going to keep it a buck. People going to be mad at me. The first 2 Jodeci albums is excellent. A lot of that other shit is terrible.
Show the Hotel and the After
That
Party
shit is
was
not a
fucking,
good album.
You didn't like it?
I didn't really like it.
I thought it was
like
good. I didn't think it was as good as...
It wasn't as good as Diary of a Mad Band.
Hell no. Like,
so to come back with that, I'm just like...
But they had Freaking You on it. And but then JoJo was like, pulling my dick out. Like,
freaking all of you.
Freaking all of you. I'm freaking everybody.
JoJo was motherfucking was Kells before Kells. Kells acted like he was gonna pull his dick out. JoJo actually did it.
24 counts. This nigga was wild.
How many cities did we do? 24. How many citations did you get? 24, nigga.
How many cities did we do? Dog, real shit. I'm like, Devontae was back there just shermed out. I'm like, you can't. I told him you can't compare Jodeci to Boyz II Men.
And I got a question. What the fuck? Dan, answer this too, because this is your era. What did Dalvin do?
I still don't know.
No one knows.
Besides be Devontae's brother.
We just needed a 4th. 3 don't look good on camera. We need 4. I'm in.
You got one light-skinned nigga too dark. That ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
That's like Jarobi with a Tribe Called Quest, man. He was just...
You just
dead.
We needed a 4th. You know what I'm saying? Can't play 2-on-2 with 3 people. You know what I'm saying?
Devontae producing the most beautiful records you ever heard. Dalvin is doing nothing, getting the same percentage.
Yeah, that's why Dalvin was what I was talking about back there, just shermed out. Not Devontae, but Dalvin. Yeah, like real shit. And I'm like, you can't compare Jodeci to Boyz II Men. They're just 2 different lanes, 2 different things in 2 different worlds. For real. I'm like, Jodeci is a good argument with like DeBarge, everyone that was on drugs. All of the groups that was doing their thing on. Seriously, you could compare them with like
Everybody on Wiggles.
LSG. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that first LSG album, a classic. That's my shit.
Jagged Edge, they another good group. Drew Hill, they a good ass group.
Drew Hill is a little underrated.
Super underrated. 112, they a Joan. But I was telling him, I'm like, 112 and Jodeci might get spooky. If real shit, you know, they just got a lot of records. I'm like, when you talking about Boyz II Men, the only thing you could compare to them, in my opinion, is New Edition. That's it. Just cut off of like grand shit.
Yeah.
Where it's like Boyz II Men got like the record of the 90s. I mean, New Edition got like the record of the 90s. They got a nigga who went solo and did 13 mil. Poison is like in the fucking Smithsonian. It's just too much of that shit with them. I'm like, Boyz II Men, their success and the things that they accomplished and the things that they did. I was telling Roddy the other day, he's like, man, the first 6 songs off of the first Jodeci album. And I'm just like, bro, Boyz II Men got Motown Philly. That just crushes that. Yeah. They got the fucking theme song, The House Party 2, nigga. They got It's So Hard to Say Goodbye. Like, that just crushes that. Gets that out. Like, no. You know what I'm saying? But I was saying that, like, we have to stop this, like, nostalgia. Now, I remember when my dad beat my mom and she came in and played, you know, fucking.
No, because Jodeci had the Doc Martens and
they played the Pointer Sisters. That, like, it just, like, we got to stop that shit and ignoring, like, actual factual, like what broke records and what catapulted this into that. And it's just like, you like when you do something that no one else does, you in a league all by yourself.
Yes.
That's just the reality of it. Like, going diamond is not an easy feat. You know how I know? Most motherfuckers ain't do it.
right.
Seriously.
Straight up.
It's 9 diamond albums in rap music. 9 that have went diamond in America. That shit is difficult.
Yeah, and there's really only like 12 songs in the last decade. I saw something, it was like either Billboard or one of the music publications. There's only been like 12 songs
Like,
that went diamond since the 2000s.
Lil Wayne was. Lil Wayne never went diamond. 50 never went diamond. 50 was the hottest thing on the fucking planet. Get Rich or Die Trying did not go diamond in America.
No, international.
Internationally sold 13. Yeah. In America is at 8.8. Like,
shit, Drake never went diamond.
Drake never went diamond. Life at the Death went diamond. Pac got 2 of them. The Greatest Hits and All Eyes on Me. Eminem got 2 of them. Slim Shady and whatever the next one was. Eminem Show or whatever the fuck the next album was. Vanilla Ice, Hammer, Outkast, and that's it.
Yeah.
I believe. Like, it's difficult to go diamond. So it's like when you look up and see Boyz II Men went diamond and then did all that shit, it's like you
Outkast, Speaker Box, The Love
that's
Below.
what I said, Outkast.
Yeah. Eminem, Marshall Mathers LP, Eminem Show, Nelly Country Grammar.
Country Grammar, there you go, Nelly.
Pac Greatest Hits, Beastie Boys License to Ill, Usher Confessions.
Oh, you going off into other shit.
Well, no, I mean, it's just all on the list.
Oh, okay.
And somehow, some way, Diamond D got thrown in there.
Who?
Diamond D, because his name is Diamond. Oh. They just threw him in there. Yeah, we gonna just throw this. Sources: hip hop, Diamond, Diamond D, blunt stunts, blunts, and hip hop. That did not go diamond. And Fuji's the score.
Oh yeah, the score did like 17 mil.
Yeah,
that was huge in like England and London and all of that shit, UK and whatnot. But yeah, the music shit could go on for on.
It's subjective as fuck,
right? I want to talk about this fucking basketball shit because like Rod just sent me the text and Embiid sitting out tonight. The NBA is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, load management.
You know, I went to the Lakers game the other night and it was billed as like the game of the year. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, stuff. One time LeBron's coming into town, AD's back.
Yeah. You
know, Russell Westbrook, he's, you know, speaking of smoking Shern, you know what I'm saying? Russell Westbrook was in town, and it was like, oh shit, like, you know, the Lakers game brings everybody out.
Yes.
Like, if you've never been to,
it brings the casual fans, it brings the people that ain't fans, it brings the prostitutes, it brings everybody.
And LeBron has turned into what Kobe was, who turned into what Michael Jordan was. Like, when they're in town, it's, you know, we there. So I had courtside tickets to the joint the other day. Around 3:00 in the afternoon, Jared came in a group chat I got with him and Tat, and Jared was like, damn, man, I know LeBron not doing you like that tonight. I'm like, well, that ain't no good because I don't know Bron. So I'm like, this got to be about some shit playing.
Yeah, this got to be some basketball related shit.
I know Bron ain't smoked the rest of my weed. Like, I'm like,
I know I had at least half a brownie. He didn't get in the grip.
I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I go look, LeBron dealing with left knee soreness. when they didn't say probable, they said questionable. I'm like, I already know what questionable means.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Questionable mean why you asking us is he playing?
Right. So I kind of put it out of my brain. I'm like, whatever. We still get dressed, go down to the John. When we were in the line waiting to go in, one of the white ladies behind me, she's like, my mom just texted me like, ha, LeBron isn't even playing tonight. I'm just like, fuck, he is. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. It's like, it is what it is. It's still the Lake Show. Now, my biggest issue with shit like that is, I know, Daniel knows, we discussed it off air, how much these tickets cost.
Yes.
And if you buy Sixers tickets, any fucking sports tickets, you know that certain teams command certain prices.
Absolutely.
And the Lakers is one of those teams. It's the Lakers and the Warriors right now in the NBA where they command the highest price. The Bucks is up there.
I was going to say, the Bucks is the fuck up there, too. I looked at a Bucks and Grizzlies game in Milwaukee. Apparently, I was going to go be a pimp for 2 days or whatever.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, motherfucking too short. What you with?
Motherfucking
all
cuckoo
through the
cow.
motherfucking South, nigga, the Midwest, nigga, we pimping right.
And
Cuckoo cow.
in my projects.
Yeah, my projects big.
Yo.
My projects.
Real quick, down bad with Chad. Retroactive John. There's a cuckoo cow documentary on Amazon Prime. I watched that, John.
I might have to watch that.
Yo, it's so many old niggas with big ass button down plaid shirts on that John talking about cuckoo cow.
Now who that coming around the corner? Cuckoo cow.
Cuckoo cow had that shit on smash.
I played that song so fucking
To
much.
death. To death, nigga. To death, nigga.
I didn't even have an anti-skip CD player. I'm walking down the street on this jump. My projects big in my projects. Everybody moves bricks. That was a great fucking record.
It's a cuckoo cow documentary, man.
Cuckoo cow. Oh,
That just show you how low the bar is in Milwaukee. All you need is one record to be the greatest rapper of all time.
Remember the
Milwaukee.
bull Ray Cash from Cleveland?
Yes.
Dog, I'm
Bumpin'
a pimp in my motherfucking mind. Then he had Bumpin' My Music with Scarface.
Yeah, he had multiple hits.
Back to the 84. Big body too, though. No blades on that motherfucker, but it still rolled. Dog, Ray Cash.
Yeah, Ray Cash was T.I. I bought the Ray Cash
He was
album.
like a T.I.
Yeah, he had the first like T.I. feature was on his album.
You got a good point. Damn, yeah. Shit.
Yeah, Ray Cash, an icon from Cleveland, from the land.
This podcast goes all over the place. We went from discussing NBA players sitting to ticket prices to cuckoo cow
and Ray Cash.
Ray Cash. That's lit.
So my greater point was fucking Grizzlies, Bucks courtside $28.34 a ticket.
Yeah, that's cheap, honestly.
$28.34 a ticket. I'm like, yo, this is Milwaukee.
Bucks Jones we had in Charlotte was 4 apiece. Damn. The Bucks command that, but that's the thing. The Warriors and the Lakers, their Jones, like the Lakers the other night, somebody wanted a dime for each Jones.
Yeah.
Like the Warriors, like you're not sitting courtside for a Warriors game less than 7,000 right now. Like it's ridiculous. So it's like it's Warriors and Lakers. The Nets are there.
Yeah, the Nets are high.
Bucks, and like I said, it's a couple other teams.
Celtics is high too.
Celtics is up there. But yeah, them Lakers tickets the other night, they was just expensive all across the board. So to have LeBron not play is like, you saw Charlotte, they got done super dirty. LeBron and AD sat the next night. You know what I'm saying? So, you spend this money for these Jones and it's the one time that person is there. That shit is like, nigga, unless you dying, you got to
gotta get your ass up out
you got to do something now. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, whatever, we get in there. The night started off kind of weird. We get in there. She had her bag. They won't let certain bags in. But my thing is they pick and choose.
Yeah, they tried to not let me in with my bag when the last game we all went to together and shit. Little small Supreme bag like this. They like, oh no, it's bigger than this joint. I'm like, bro, this is a laminate. Like
when they pulled a laminate, that's what they did. It was him going to the binder. I'm going to the binder.
And of course, it was a black boy. It was like, you can't get in with that bag. I go right in the other line. Old head white boy let me right through. I'm just like, it's always the niggas overdoing their job,
bro. There was
bro.
a white lady the other day. She had her little Gucci Joan and she wouldn't let it in. I'm looking like, what the fuck? Like, I'm here all the fucking time. I've seen bags bigger than this all the time. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm taking it back to the car. I'm parked right at the front. I take it back to the car, put the shit in there. I'm coming back in. The lady in front of us getting in with a Louis Joan, like with the belt.
You like, oh hell
what
no.
What the fuck is that? She's like, oh, that's a diaper bag. And she got diapers in there. I'm like, Give me 2 Pampers. I'm gonna put it in the motherfucker. Like, what the
Trash the shit out them Pampers.
Right.
You get it.
So whatever. We get past her. Now we're going through. Now they check your ID and your vax card when you come in. Like it's not like it was before.
Right at the door.
At the door. Let me see the ID. Let me see the vax card. Boop, 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 boop. Get in there. We go through the security shit. Put our shit in the little dish, right? My phone, wallet, keys, whatever in the dish. It's so many people coming in that Lee kind of like took the dish and stepped to the side. The security girl was like, hold on, run off with my dish. And we're like, where the fuck is we gonna go with the doggy bowl? Like, what the fuck do you think we about to do with that?
It's a great polyurethane.
It was weird. So whatever. Come around. I park right on the Broad Street side, so I can come right in and go right to the little room or whatever.
Yeah.
I come in, go to the desk, show my ticket. She like, oh, hey, nice coat with the whoop. It's the wrong team, though, whatever. And I'm like, well, Sixers ain't got no fucking championships recently, so it's like, what the fuck? So whatever. I go for my bracelet. She was like, oh, no bracelets. And I'm like, She was like, yeah, that was for COVID. I'm like, COVID's still going on.
They just COVID checked me before I came in this bitch.
COVID checked me in this motherfucker. So I'm just like, what the fuck? So go down the steps, boom, 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 get into the lounge. So it's like, okay, what you want to do? They got the free food, but the free food be like hit or miss. They got the chickens and peas down there. I'm like, she like, let's come. She be like, okay, cool. So we standing there. Black waitress comes past and was like, yo, y'all want to order? Like, y'all don't even got to wait in that line. Like, come with me. So she just start walking with her, like walk off and shit. And I'm like, yo, that's how slavery started. You don't just walk off with people.
You just go nowhere with nobody.
you gotta process.
Gotta vet these people.
So I start walking behind him. The white security guard boy steps in front of me, like stepped dead in front of me. He was like, where's your band at? I'm like,
they told me I didn't need a band.
I'm like, they told me I didn't need a band. He's like, who told you that? I'm like, the chick at the desk. I'm like, she said no bands. They not doing bands no more. They was only doing it for COVID. He was like, I mean, so you don't got a band? And I'm like, so I instantly think he's fucking with me because I got the Lakers coat and the Lakers hat on. I'm like, and I go to step around him and he like moved in front of me. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And he was like, yeah, like, you need a band. And I'm like, man, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. So I walked around and walked up. So the waitress comes back. She's like, you cool? Like, leave. Like, yo, why the fuck you not fuck? I'm like, security boy screaming and hollering about a band and shit. She was like, why? She was like, no one has a band. I'm like, my point exactly. You know what I'm saying? So the waitress chick, she was cool. She was like, that was just so fucking weird. I'm getting y'all food and y'all drinks for free. Like, y'all ain't got to pay for shit. I'm like, okay. So she went and got us a bunch of chickies and Pete shit for free. Boarded out, bought us drinks and shit. Casamigos and pineapple, like all the fucking hoochies drink. Right. I'm like, yeah, bring us a couple of those. Boom, boom, boom. So we do that. We chill in the lounge, whatever. Game, it's like 6 minutes before they start and the call, the name calls, whatever. Boom, go out. Now, this is when I first walked onto the floor.
Okay.
So, because I've been in the lounge, hold on.
Yeah.
I walk out on the floor. Bro, I wasn't out there for 10 minutes. My phone had I got 6 or 7 text messages or DMs like, oh, you really think you fucking it up? With like, because everybody like, see, whatever. So motherfuckers see me like, is that you with the fucking purple coat on? I'm like, yeah. So my one homie hit me was like, why my man just texted me like, yo, Matt fucking it up with the purple coat. He was like, they just showed a couple. They got on matching purple furs. I'm like, tell me that ain't. I'm like, hell no. I'm like, what the fuck? So I was right at the Sixers bench when they did the jump for the call out. So when the players was running out, they kept showing me on the Jumbotron. So then that was like, oh shit, they whatever. And the Sixers announcer boy, he came over, the little nigga who do like the MCing or whatever. He came over, was like, yo man, I just had to come tell you, like, you got the wrong shit on, wrong team, wrong, you should have some Sixers shit on. But you fucking it up. that coat and that hat is fire. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I didn't realize just in the goings-ons of the introduction to the game, I didn't realize that it was also Nigger Night at the arena.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like AI bobblehead night.
Yeah, they said the APB out. Like, all the niggas was in there.
They said
I'm home. I'm in the car watching this shit. I'm like, yo, so every nigga I ever met in life is at the game tonight? Like,
bro,
niggas I ain't seen in 13 years at the game.
Yeah.
Like, ain't you on fed parole? What are you doing at the game?
I took so many pictures with people. It was so many people in that joint. And I'm just like, it was like unlike any other night. Like, everybody was at that joint. I got asked where Chad at like 6-7 times. I'm like,
shout out to those people.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, he you know what I'm saying? Like, I seen Ron. He came up to me in the joint. Like, yo, where Chad at? I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen Tech, shout out him, Dariel, Tania was in there, fucking Jay was in there, Shizzy, I seen him, I seen Dante, I seen motherfucking Craig. We came out, I told you we sat in the seats. Motherfuckers leaned up over the joint like, yo, not disrupt you, I fucks with the podcast, bro. I'm like, oh shit, good luck. You know, it was just so many motherfuckers. And, you know, it was a lot going on. Meek was in there, Louis V was sitting on my row, because Jules was like, yo, you sitting next to somebody with a red coat? I looked, I'm like, yeah. He was like, ain't that the nigga that was on the show? I'm like, oh shit! Look, I like niggas said like sits down. So he came talking. Meek came across the joint. So when I'm like, they about to rumble. You know what I'm saying? Hold your shit.
But they grab your tickets.
Yeah, but they came over. They spoke, chopped it up, whatever. It seemed cool. I will say this: that shit has to get annoying.
You know his level of stardom,
dog. When I tell you, bitches was running across the baseline. Like I told you, niggas who do the squeegee work, they was running across the baseline when he came over to where we was at, like just on some trying to get a picture. The one big John, she came in like this John and like was pulling him back, and his man was like, man, bitch, get off his neck. I was like, yo, that shit gotta be annoying. I'm talking about fucking middle-aged white men who got on khakis and half-zip Columbias that clearly are like orthodontists.
Mike!
What's going on, Mike? The one white dude came down, he's like, come on, Miki, let me get a picture with you, baby. I'm like, why they keep calling this nigga Miki? I was like, that shit gotta be annoying than a motherfucker. He looked he looked over it. You know what I'm saying? He had on a fantastic watch, but he just looked over it, just in the grand scheme of things.
Ron said, Ron was like, I pulled up at the motherfucking game in the new S580. This nigga Meek got off the helicopter. Yeah. He like, I need to take my ass back to Miami.
Yeah, helicopter on the roof and shit. With a dickie set. You know what I'm saying? True nigga. But like I said, it was fun. The white boy who they kicked out actually came up to me in the lounge before the game, was like, yo, I love the coat, man. I'm like, literally when that shit happened with the security, I turned around and he was like, yo, fantastic coat, man. I'm like, thanks. He's like, yeah, man, I'm drunk as fuck, man. They probably gonna kick me out tonight. Sure enough, got kicked out. Get his ass out. That's exactly what he said before the game.
Bro, God.
Turns out that
had 13 White Claws.
Turns out through one of my clandestine informants, his son was the motherfucker who got into the shit with Isaiah Thomas over the Frosty.
Oh shit!
And he was like, they just an asshole family. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, like he got warned Tuesday about the antics with the players. He's like, sure enough, they sit his ass out. And my one was like, you think he gonna get banned like for life? He's like, no, too much paper and shit. You know what I'm saying? The boy who gave Westbrook the fingers. Yeah. Remember him, the doctor boy? Like he owns seats down that motherfucker. Right. Like, yeah, they gonna kick me out tonight.
Yeah, I got real estate in this motherfucker.
I'll be back though. You know what I'm saying? The interesting thing about wearing the OVO Lakers coat was you'd be surprised how many people don't know that was for sale on OVO.com.
Yeah, because we live in a society of a bunch of swaggerless monkeys that have no idea what's going on past what a rapper tell them.
A nigga stopped me in the fucking Cadillac grill when I was upstairs fucking with Mark. Nigga stopped me and was like, yo, is this like a 101? Like some shit they did custom for you? I'm like Drake?
Like who am I? like what? Like you leaving me with an overinflated sense of self-worth. The fuck you talking about? Did they make this for me? Like Hush and Nico? Like did O.B. O'Brien make this coat for me? What are you talking about?
The one nigga, he came up, he was like, yo, this joint flames. Like dog, Drake don't even got one of these. I'm like, I guarantee you, Drake has one. Like, y'all are ridiculous.
Drake got teams that they didn't even produce for mass consumption.
The one nigga was like, yo, what is this? Like, what is it? And I'm like,
what is this?
I'm like, it's a
varsity coat.
I'm like, it's an OVO coat. And he was like, no, but like, where, I never seen that shit. And I'm like, they did it for 6 teams. And he was like, what teams? Like basketball teams? I'm like, the Lakers, the Celtics, the Heat, the Raptors. He was like, you serious? I'm like, yeah. So the one boy, I was coming through the through the bathroom area where they do they do the press conferences in the hallway. Sixers are very ghetto. They do press conferences.
Very ghetto, would not recommend.
Yeah, they do press conferences in the hallway and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was coming through that, and the one boy was like, "Yo, man, nice ass coat." He was like, you like with them?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like,
You like an OVO podcaster?
I'm like, "No." I'm
Signed
like,
to OVO sound and shit.
and he was like, I feel like I seen that shit before. And I was like, well, you probably seen it because when it launched, the boy Drakeo that got killed, he was the model for it. Like, he had this one on in the gym. And he was like, right. So you like know all them niggas. And I'm like, no, nigga, they have a website. I'm like, what
I purchased this.
What the fuck?
These are available for commercial consumption.
I told you, I'm like, I was gonna sell it. Like, I was gonna wear it and then sell it. I'm like, I'm keeping this shit now. This shit causes too much of a stir up. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, like I said, the game the other night was fun. We made the most of it. Kev was funny as shit.
Kev is a riot.
Kev is he's an absolute laugh riot, man. We was down in the lounge and shit, you know, whatever, doing our little 1-2. Like I said, I seen a bunch of motherfuckers down there. I went up the grill, was fucking with Marvin, all them up top after the game. It was like I said, for no LeBron, we made the most of it. It was fun. But the whole shit with them sitting the players and players not playing, it's like, it really hits you when you see how much these tickets be costing and shit like that be had. It'd be like, dog,
Like, imagine you just paid a dime a seat for fucking Sixers courtside, expecting that the full slate of the Lakers is going to play. At least LeBron, because the rest of you niggas can stay home for real. At least let me just get LeBron and a bunch of practice squad players, as opposed to, you know, what they ended up having. And Anthony Davis had a fantastic game the other night. Him and Embiid was battling. But you know what I don't know through all the Nigger Night nonsense and all of that? Who the fuck won the game?
The Sixers, they blew them up.
Okay, I had no idea, because they were talking about Anthony Davis and Embiid battling, and I'm like, well.
I will say this, Ant Davis was getting Embiid ass. He was dunking, catching ooze, swatting that shit. He blocked this shit like 2-3 times. Like, Ant Davis was on his ass that night. But the Lakers stink as a community.
Right.
Like,
as an organization.
As an organization, staff, and as a motherfucking crew. They're terrible. So it's like, when you take LeBron out and replace that with Stanley Johnson, there's just
it ain't gonna work.
Like, if you you get like a SRT engine and you take that out and you put the 2.7 from the Dodge Magnum in,
from the Dodge Nitro,
it's just no replacing that. So it is what it is. But like I said, we had fun. We had a good time. But yeah, definitely it's funny just going to a bunch of games where you see the energy that comes into a LeBron.
Yeah.
Like, tonight should be pretty interesting with Ja, because he has like a real cult following, you know, whatever.
Ja not fucking around, man.
He not playing. But it's just different from going to, like, if you go to like a Nuggets game, there's a different energy. You know what I mean? Like how you said the prostitutes, they pull up for the Lakers. It was a bitch in there the other day with like a lace outfit on.
Yeah.
Like
the prostitutes.
It was 19
The OnlyFans community.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, you ain't been outside since they invented the webcam. Yeah, but LeBron in town.
Yeah.
See what's good. You brung up Draco real quick before we get into everything else. Draco the Ruler is the artist from California, from South Central California, that was killed at the Once Upon a Time in LA festival back in December. And you know, kind of an ironic situation, because me and Matt were at the LA Coliseum the week before for the Drake and Kanye concert, and part of our recap on the TRPE Takes LA episode was talking about all the problems at the venue and just how unorganized it was and all of this old shit. And this is with a person that is universally respected and revered, and Jay Prince being the concert promoter. So imagine when this goof troop from motherfucking whatever neighborhood in the valley doing a motherfucking concert, like, niggas is gonna cut the fuck up and do whatever they want. And in this situation, you know, this man essentially, you know, came to work and got a prison yard style hit put on him, and he was murdered. And now his family, and rightfully so, is suing LiveNation and the concert promoter for $20 million. Personally, I think that's extremely low, and it should be closer to like 50 or 60, because this is an artist that was probably the biggest, at least independent artist in the state of California, as it presently states. He got a Drake feature. all the fucking Midwest niggas, Icewear, Vezo, Babyface Ray, this and this, all the motherfuckers that matter in the industry was fucking with him. They were all like getting on his wave. So it's like $20 million over the next 4 years was pretty much an inevitability for somebody like him that had all the leverage that he had and all the relationships that he had. Right. So you just talking about just a baseline of 20 million, cool, but what's the punitive damages? What's the escalator for just the fucking literal what do I want to call it? Like the disregard for security protocols and human life, and the fact that it's like it's no consistency from artist to artist. Like people that was with Draco saying it's 7, 8 of them, and they being told they hard capped at 7, 8, 9, 10 people, whatever the number was, but then somebody else get to bring in 75 people with their entourage, like goofy ass shit like that. And it's just like, yo, it's never the artists themselves. It's always the entourage. Right. And for this man to come to work to be paid for a fucking service and not only not get to fucking perform, but get murdered at work. It's just like, yeah, this festival needs to never, ever, ever happen again. And from what I understand, it's a black man that was at the head of the festival that cultivated this relationship with LiveNation over the years to make this concert. But it's just like, bruh, if you don't handle your business and you could cut everything at a rap show. You could cut the production budget. You could cut the marketing budget. You could cut the motherfucking pyro. You could cut the firework. You could cut everything. You cannot cut security at a rap show. You cannot. You gotta beef up on security. So it's just like, yo, we didn't learn nothing from the concert the week prior, and they fans are very docile compared to a bunch of various gangbang affiliated fans that's coming for the Once Upon a Time in LA festival. So it's just a terrible situation. I think $20 million is the minimum, like a baseline. It should be some form of punitive damages added on top of that, because just based off of his career trajectory, future earnings and all of that, y'all essentially killed a $50 million man. So I think his family should be compensated properly with that in mind. And let's just cancel this festival forever, because, you know, we can't play these type of games with artist safety, with people fucking lives, you know, just for the sake of like saving a buck. Like you can't do that shit. And, you know, a very important figure to the rap game in California, a very important figure to the West Coast in general, was killed over some internet nonsense that I don't want to speculate on, but just basically a war of words between niggas. And it just goes to show, like, yo, niggas have unlimited energy for fucking bickering, going back and forth, fucking discrediting one another, and ultimately murdering one another, because we the primary ones that's killing each other, and we need to stop the stupid shit.
Listen, you know I say it all the time. You know what I'm saying? And going back to the Patreon the other day, you know what I'm saying, with the whole situation that we had, and it's just, I want to make it clear, I don't go out of my way to disrespect anyone. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, 9 times out of 10, I don't even know you exist, right. And that's not a diss.
That's just keeping it a thou wow.
That's just what it is. Like when I heard the shit and found out, I'm just like, wait, what? I had to like go look. And
that was my response.
And it's just like, nigga, what? No. Like, but that's how fast people will curate some nonsense. Because I said the other day, what if you don't know cousin? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what if? And now we just out, or I'm out, or you out, and it's just next thing you know, you got a whole situation that ain't even a situation.
Yep.
Just because, you know, Moxie and every fucking thing else done kicked into overdrive, and
being a black male, the easiest thing it is to get into is some beef right now.
Dog, it's just unreal. Like you walk,
it'll find you.
You say excuse me to the wrong motherfucker. What?
Listen, situation the other day. I'm not sure if you've seen it in the news. Dude in the supermarket. I think they was in like Reading or Lancaster. He in the supermarket. Lady bumped into him, said excuse me. Oh yeah, cool, no problem. He followed her home and killed her.
My sister sent it to me and shit. Yeah,
like nonsense. This is the shit that's going on out here. So with that being said, if this is the overall climate of just black life in general, bruh, we don't need to be manufacturing no unnecessary beef with nobody.
Bruh.
We need to just take a second, step the fuck back, take your ego out of it, take your feelings out of it, and be like, nah, I'm motherfucking talking about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the greater good. Because at the end of the day, It's just unnecessary. And it's like, but that's all we do. Look at fucking Clubhouse. That app was branded as like, oh, it's going to be so exclusive. It's invite only. And you can talk to industry insiders. Yeah. You might even be able to talk to the nigga that wrote the liner notes on the blueprint. Like stupid ass shit like that. And now it's turned into a hub of Negro negativity. Yeah. Whack 100 is on Clubhouse jumping room to room, enforcing gang politics on the internet.
Bro. I told my homie the other day, I'm like, you don't think Clubhouse and anything like it is ridiculous? I'm like, Jay-Z is one of the most brilliant black minds. The mind y'all respect most when it comes to business and branding yourself. Jay on a Clubhouse type app talk about, can nobody fuck with me in verses.
It brings out the worst in everybody.
Out absolute nonsense. That's it.
How many people in the crowd? 400? I'm gonna just tell y'all like this. Bitch ass niggas can't fuck with. I'm insulted, y'all. Keep asking me this shit, bitch ass niggas. No disrespect.
Shit. Did you see Bleak got into it with one of the Bills players or something?
What?
Yeah, you ain't see that?
No.
Or the Chiefs players rather. When the Chiefs was playing the Bills, was it the Chiefs or the Bills? I don't want to say it wrong, but whatever.
You got into it with an NFL player.
Somebody was I want to say it was the Chiefs. Or was it the Bills?
Undisclosed NFL.
It was the Chiefs-Bills game. But when one of them was getting torched, I think it was when the Chiefs gave up the play to Josh Allen, they were down with 13 seconds left. Bleak tweeted, man, the Chiefs defense stink. So one of them tweeted was like, man, your records stink. And that turned into like a whole thing. And then they had Bleak on the Joe talk about the Jay versus comment. Because they asked him about this shit. It was like, how you feel about the whole Jay versus comment? Bleak was like, the fuck y'all think I'm about to say? Ain't nobody being Jay versus.
That nigga told me I got $50 million in a suitcase.
I fuck with Bleak man.
I know what side my bread is buttered on, you dickhead.
The fuck you think? Yeah, Lil Wayne. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, real shit. But what was the whole? What did we start with this?
It started with the Draco the Ruler shit with his family.
We did that. Then we did the because it was a point I wanted to make that we was talking about.
Oh, you telling me we don't have beef with you don't have beef with nobody.
Oh, but that's known though. Like you like, and that be my joint. Like you know what I'm saying? Because like I said before, if ever you think it's really a thing of enough, you would, you know what I'm saying? There's a certain way you go about it. So it's like they kind of knew like I'm not speaking about them or whatever. And just to clarify. That whole podcast, card table shit, it was about some shit on the Shade Room. It's not about some shit about people around here that we know or know. Like, that just doesn't even make sense. Like, who the fuck in their right mind? Like, I'm not that boy. Like, we're doing okay, but we not that to where I feel like, oh, I can. Like, in all actuality, me and you kind of want to help. Podcast. Like literally our first live show, we pulled Slap Rock on stage. Slap Rock he had Sipping with Slap. Now he has or Sipping with Slap now from the other joint. Like we pulled Slap on stage. Our next show, we're bringing local podcasts on the stage. We're like, that's us. Like on the tip where we talk about a lot doing a podcast studio where we can just have one actual hub of media and entertainment for the entire city. Yeah. So this ain't that and that ain't this, in the words of Jeezy.
Yeah,
like,
I was sitting here yesterday. They was here filming shout out Kyrie and Ebony from Focus Studios. They was here in my crib filming a movie yesterday. No, I'm not in the movie, but they was filming a movie.
Chad was acting like a hoe yesterday.
Yeah, they was filming a movie or whatever. And
I was about to tide my way right into
I ran into a old friend of mine, somebody that, I kind of helped get started, as far as getting videography jobs and photography and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And he's showing me like his reels from this show that he's doing or whatever. It's called Cooking Up 215. And I'm just like, yo, no, I seen the show. I'm familiar with it. I know who the host is, this, and this. Like, y'all got a dope product. He like, yeah, but we can't get no traction. And I just sat here for 35, 40 minutes just breaking down like, well, no, you should do this and da-da-da-da. I said, really? Y'all should take the whole shit offline, fucking catalog it, and then pitch it to a network like a Zeus or whatever. And he's like, so I basically need to work my relationships. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? It's like I give motherfuckers so much game and lend my ear and my time and lend my tongue, pause, to so many different people and situations and try to steer motherfuckers in the right direction. And just like it's no money in beefing. That's all that shit does is generate attention for motherfuckers that don't care about people on either side, because if they did, they would tell you not to do the dumb shit.
Right. Like, and I just like,
and that's just totally off brand for us.
I went down South Carolina. Shout out to fucking Kane Hennessy Black. Like we sat there and I talked to him about podcasting because he's like where we were at after probably like the 50th, 60th episode where it's like, I don't know what way or what I'm doing.
It's like, what's next?
And I sat and just talked with him about different revenue streams that you can create within your content, different ways you can go about pitching your content to certain people, and different ways you can go about building your audience and building your, and he just like, I had no idea that this shit was going on. I'm like, yeah, we didn't either, but we kind of figured it out. And it's like,
had to go find that shit because nobody taught us.
Right.
And we was with networks and nobody taught us.
And this is somebody I don't know. This ain't no lifeline. I met him through Jules, but he want to do podcast. Okay, and we had a full blown combo. And it's just like, that's what you're supposed to do in life. Is like, get to where you are and go up. Now, at the end of the day, I feel like what we do here is social commentary. Yeah. So we talk about the Lakers and the Sixers with their nonsense. We talk about, Cardi B, or we got to talk about that. Cardi B and her lawsuit and this, that, and the third. So it's like, the whole thing right now is Defund Male Podcast. It's Defund Male Podcast, and Male Podcasts just talk about this and talk about that and this, that, and the third. So it's like, the other day I seen a video where the girl was making fun of male podcasts. It was a TikTok, and then they had an actual podcast where they were talking just like that. In the joint. This is like some African niggas though down in little Haiti, fucking where who have a big YouTube channel. But it's like us, when we get to that point where we're out and we're nationally fucking known, you gonna get criticized. People gonna make jokes. Yeah. That's just the way it works.
And the reality of the situation is, you're never as good as they say you are. You're never as bad as they say you are. You usually fall somewhere in the middle.
But I saw a girl yesterday. She said men need to make podcasts about being better lovers. And then the one girl was like, yes, men should make podcasts that talk about therapy, friendships, experiences with family, what it means to be a man, maturity, traumatic experiences, career, their dreams, etc. Anything else but what I've been hearing out of men, because the shit that come out just be trash. And I'm like, my response to that was, the podcast that I host and several others do all of that.
Yeah.
But we don't go viral or get exposure on a national level because we're not spitting Hennessy on a room full of OnlyFans hoes or talking to old street figures who told on everybody. And that's just the reality of it. Our podcast, along with a lot of other ones, people have dope perspective and dope content, but you gotta fight to get through the bush. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really gotta work to get out into that limelight, because the shit that our culture tends to limelight,
negativity,
before niggas sitting around a card table talking about how hoes, the one chick wouldn't let me put in an asshole, so it's like, do she love me? And, it's stupid shit like that. And it's just, that's the reality of it.
So boom, I take the bitch to Shoney's, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just assuming like it's DSC, it's dick sucks everything, you know what I'm saying? And little do I know, she bitch talking about I'm on my period. I'm like, your mouth work. Yeah. So it's like, well, damn, do she fuck with me or not?
Bitch told me her husband was stressing out, so I bought a bottle of Hypno. I bring her over to
she found a little small bottle of Henny in the trunk. Next thing you know, we drinking Thug Passions and things like that. And
what was Henny in the Hypno? Incredible Hulk.
I find the motherfucking Red Berry Alizé. Next thing we drinking Thug Passions and Incredible Hawks and things.
Alizé.
Next thing you know, the bitch asked me for $84. I'm like, I'm taking it back. I didn't pay for all this good liquor here. I bought you motherfucking Shoney's platter. I'm thinking, it's about to come back my way.
Alizé was such a disgusting.
It's awful.
Oh my goodness.
It's awful.
You ever pay attention to Soul Plane? Remember the big boy? He lost a bunch of weight now. The gay flight attendant. He was like,
Layman.
He was like, when he was talking to Tom Arnold, he was like, what would you like for your in-flight drink? He was like, we have Alizé and we have whatever the other one was. And Tom Arnold and the white wife, they had never heard. He was like, what exactly is Alizé? He was like, oh, it's very good. It's a cognac. And
it's a cognac.
It's a cognac.
Goes right to your private parts. He said that for the little one we have apple juice or Shorty 40.
That nigga said it's a cognac.
It's a cognac. Goes straight to your private parts.
Someone playing funny as shit. But yeah, man, squash all that beef, man. Go out here and let's all just get some money.
Yeah, we spread love, man. We spread love. We spread information. We spread resources.
Speaking of getting some money, I want to talk about this Cardi B shit.
Oh, man, listen.
There's a couple joints I got to get into. Spooky. There you go.
Shit got spooky in federal court for popular YouTube blogger Tasha K. Her channel Unwind with Tasha K just recently hit over 1 million subscribers, but she's been embroiled in a legal battle with Cardi B over the last 4 years about her essentially.
This is very good because this goes into like the YouTube media where it's like saying certain things can get you jammed.
It will fuck you around.
It'll fuck you around.
And she's been going back and forth with Cardi B, legally now for the last 4 years, and it finally made it to the level of federal court in the state of Georgia. And because of the amount of damages that were on the line, this is what took it from like a state level defamation case to a federal one. So essentially, Tasha K, the blogger, ran a series of blog posts on her channel about Cardi B. In these blog posts, she alleged that Cardi B was a ex-prostitute. She posted a grainy iPhone 3 video, probably from Cameron, that that featured a woman on stage at a strip club having sex with a Heineken bottle, alleged that this was Cardi B. And then the most damning piece of evidence, the smoking gun, which ended up unraveling this whole case for her ass, was her alleging that Cardi B had herpes, HPV, and other sexually transmitted diseases, and that she probably gave her daughter herpes while she was pregnant with her. You can't say that.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Especially with no proof. And to make matters worse, Tasha K was such an asshole and such a narcissist about the situation that while it was going on, she made alleges in her blogs that, I spoke to my lawyers and they told me I could talk about it because it's alleged and this, and this, but she never was alleging anything. She was saying, I know this bitch got herpes and HPV and blah, 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 blah.
And why was she doing all of this?
For traffic, for blog traffic.
Like I didn't know if they had like some beef or...
They'd had no beef, no interaction, no nothing. But the thing is, she ran the first story and then she hit Cardi B up and said, hey. Cardi B hit her up and said, hey, this is false. Like, this is not true, blah, blah, blah. And Tasha K said, cool. If it's not true, come on my platform, clout chasing, come on my platform and debunk the rumors and I'll stop talking about it. Cardi B said, y'all talk to my, my team, my management and my label. They said it's a bad idea. It's going to bring more light to the story if I speak on it. I don't want to. So then Tasha K went on a vendetta against this woman for the last 4 years, running these erroneous blog posts and just basically attempting to fuck her life up. And it ended up landing in federal court. The case was such a slam dunk for Cardi B because of all the videos and the smoking guns and all of this old shit that the judge was telling Tasha K, hey, you need to settle this case. You are going to lose. Like a federal judge.
Look here, bitch. I'm going to rule in the next 3 days.
Yeah, you are fucked.
I'm telling you.
The trial was going on, I think, since December. It just got wrapped up or whatever, but it was pretrial motions and this and this. During the pretrial motions, the judge is telling Tasha K, you need to settle this case. It is not going to be good for you if I have to render a verdict on this. Like, this is going to be very bad. You're going to lose. So the craziest part about all of this is when she was making these videos alleging my lawyers cleared me and this, and this, she didn't even have a lawyer. Never had a lawyer. Then she turned around and was beefing with this, with the guy, the lead attorney, retired family attorney based out of Georgia, graduated from University of Georgia Law School and all that. The judge graduated University of Georgia Law School, all of this shit. When the lead attorney graduated from University of Georgia Law School, you know how many black attorneys there were in his graduating class? 12. So you know what that means? This is a prestigious law school that's hard to get into, even harder to finish. This motherfucker knows what he's talking about. He was a family attorney. So she went on this whole rant. The lead attorney, you're a fucking YouTuber. You're a loser. The attorneys that I hire. So now that's become like a whole fucking like thing on the internet. The attorneys that I hire.
I've seen that.
And it turns out she didn't have any attorneys. Do I hear something? Somebody's phone is vibrating. Yeah, I'm like, I'm
you got some good ass.
Yo, I got supersonic ear. I'm like, yo.
Me and Dan both look at each other. They fucking these niggas.
So I'm like, so now that's turned into
Dan like, oh, Dan, this is my stamp connect. Good looking, man.
So now that's turned into like a meme on the internet. The attorneys that I hired.
Right, I've seen that.
Her lawyer was so bad. She had a lawyer that never handled a libel or a slander case. Her lawyer was so bad. The judge during the case in open court said, I am going to go home tonight, read through my law books and case law and this and this and this, and see if it's possible for me to put in a bar complaint against you. A federal sitting judge wanted to put in a bar complaint against an attorney because of how bad they misrepresented their client, themselves, and the law. You are toast when that happens. It's a wrap. So they go through this whole process, blah, blah, blah. Of course, just like the judge told her, she fucking loses. Right. $1.25 million judgment just for the slander. Then there's lawyer fees associated with this case. $1.39 million in lawyer fees. Then the jury came back with another $1.5 million in punitive damages for ruining her reputation and all this old shit, and the whole connection of you gave your daughter herpes and all this crazy shit that was found to be not true because Cardi B hired a medical expert. So in total, Tasha K running her big, stupid ass, arrogant mouth cost her $3.89 million in a judgment. You would think that somebody that's just been humbled like that in federal court and it's public record and it's on all the blogs and all this would shut the fuck up. Not Tasha K. You know what Tasha K did? She proceeded to go on her YouTube channel and make a stream the day after the verdict alleging that she was some sort of social justice warrior fighting against a corrupt music industry that conspired against her to ruin her because of the things that she was saying about Cardi B, even though they all know that it's true. You want to talk about doubling down, tripling down, going all in.
With sixes.
with pocket sixes.
Flop came out ace, king, queen. I'm
all in. Playing games with me.
What you got over there?
She playing Baccarat dealer showing us three. She like, I'm betting on player, all in on player. Like it's just a bad bet, and it's just like, yo, you got essentially a $4 million judgment against you. Right now, they're going to go through the appeals process and this and this. The shit is going to get upheld on an appellate level. Then you had to go to Supreme Court. Supreme Court is not hearing slander cases as it relates to this because the precedent has already been set of what you can and can't say. And here's the thing, but people don't understand. You can talk a lot of shit about a celebrity as long as to a certain point.
As long as it's opinion.
As long as it's opinion.
I think Nas is better than Jay-Z. Yes. I think Lil Wayne is one of the best rappers of all time. I think Volume 1 is better than Volume 3. But I can't go out and be like, when Jay did Volume 1, you know he was fucking fire. Like, I can't do that because the second someone hears that, and it's like, whoa, this is... You put that out as a fact, and that ain't fact.
Yeah, it's unsubstantiated.
So what happens a lot of time is like that situation, you'll have them reach out like, yo, this ain't true, take that down. Like, yo, y'all monetizing something with my music on it, take that down. Like, realistically, if Meek wanted to get petty, Meek could go and be like, oh, shit, y'all make money. Yo, I can go all the way the fuck back and be like, take Liddy off of the first 2 fucking podcast episodes. And if we be like, fuck you, nigga, we Liddy for real. Meek can then sue us. Yes. That's the way it works.
It's copyright infringement.
Right. So it's like, you know, and we learned that quickly. We didn't know that when we started. We just, put that beat on because that beat hot. But then we realized because, like, shout out to Justin, he saw the vision like, yo, y'all podcast going to go places.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to monetize this if y'all have this fucking... Come in.
It took a while, but it's like you can get into a situation where you can really make money off of these episodes. So it's like, you don't want to have no issue where the monetization then comes in the subject into the court on some like, yo, y'all making this off of that. We need to woo 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 woo. So
we need to audit the books.
When it comes to talking shit, like me the other day with the podcast, with the card table shit, with the niggas on Shade Room, I can speak on that all day because it's out in the world. I'm not
it's out for public consumption.
But the second I be like, them niggas who do that podcast, one of them beat a bitch up.
Right. And the other one a cokehead.
Like, at that point, now I'm drawing.
Yeah,
like,
you open yourself up to fucking prosecution and litigation.
And I think people misconstrue fact with opinion all the time. Because
they like to toe the line.
Y'all do it on Twitter where y'all will state your opinion as fact.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really work like that. You ever seen people just make up facts?
Yes.
Just make a joint up. Yeah, because you know 90% of black men date white women. And it's just like, Excuse me?
Like 84% of black men are married to black women.
what?
84% of the ones that are married to black women.
What'd you say? Hakeem's Almanac?
Where did you get this?
You gotta get out of Hakeem's Almanac because these facts ain't true. So it's like, yeah, this situation is like I said, you just out trying to get clicks and this, that, and the third, and get it fucked up. We all create content and we all talk shit and we all make jokes and this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
But me and you have never gone, like, even when we get to where we're talking about some shit that just broke, it's a lot of allegedly this, that, and the third. Like, that's the whole
My
thing.
opinion is,
The whole-
I think
the whole-
it looks like.
The whole thing now with sports reporters where it's just a bunch of, sources said.
Yeah.
I ain't say this shit.
Yeah.
Look at the Brady shit this week. You talk about the weirdest fucking week in sports history.
His dad is like, nigga, what the fuck?
Matt Castle was like, I can confirm that I text Tom Brady and he did not text me back. I fell out off of that.
This shit got so deep. We found out he was a junior. We didn't even know. They're we talked to Tom Brady Sr. who said this is bullshit.
No, they had Brady. They had commemorative videos about his career done and every fucking thing.
Like, call the editing department. Get us a Tom Brady montage.
Tom Brady's like, yo, I ain't even making this shit.
I ain't even say that. I said I was gonna take the whole offseason.
But that's where media is now. Where media is like, it's all like kind of crunched together. Like, you remember when it used to be like ABC World News and 60 Minutes, and then it used to be like CETA in the basement. You know, like all of that shit has like come.
Yeah, it all exists in the same space because everybody's racing to be first.
Everybody wants to be the one who breaks the story. That Kobe shit fucked me up forever. Where I saw like real live journalists. I mean, like real live solidified media outlets was just like, oh, Kobe died on the plane with all the team, all his daughter's teammates. Oh, Rick Fox was on the plane. You know, fucking Adam Morrison was on the plane. Why the fuck Kobe hanging out with Adam Morrison? What the fuck is Adam Morrison doing? I'm like, it just was nuts. And I watch how media works now, where the other day, motherfuckers caught wind of it on Twitter. Tom Brady retired. Oh shit, TB12 to go. Pulling up when he came back 28-3, or pulling up when he did this against them and this.
Yo, I saw the Eagles fans talking about the Eagles will forever be the last team to beat Tom Brady in a Super Bowl. I'm like, this is not a stat. Like, what are y'all talking about? But the Eagles will forever be the final team to beat. Like, well, they not the final team to beat them, but in the Super Bowl though.
Yeah.
Like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
Conjecture. Like, everybody's trying to manipulate a fake story to get their own agenda off. Mm-hmm. Y'all are strange. Y'all are weird as fuck.
And you know, I literally said, like, at times I just try my hardest to not. I got wrapped up in some shit yesterday on fucking Bleacher Report or whatever.
Yeah.
So of course, with Tom Brady's fake retirement, Bleacher Report made a picture, right? And let me show you this shit, just so you can see how long it went on, because they're still in my Jones arguing. So,
so you commented on something and then now you the center of it.
All of this shit is them arguing. You know what I'm saying? Cursing me. And look how long that fucking book. Like, dog. So, Bleacher Report posted a picture and it said greatest athlete of all time with a question mark. It's Tom Brady. It's Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, Michael Phelps, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Usain Bolt, Babe Ruth.
They bring Babe. They put Babe Ruth on their ass?
The Bambino, nigga.
Oh, come on, man.
The motherfucking Salt and the SWAT, nigga. Fucking Wayne Gretzky and Simone Biles, right? So I simply asked on the post, why isn't Floyd Mayweather on this?
Yeah.
Because I think Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest athletes of all time. So, again, this is just me. A simple question. Why isn't Floyd on this?
No, you can't ask no questions on that.
I didn't disrespect nobody. I didn't say somebody don't deserve to be on. I just simply was like, why isn't Floyd Mayweather on this? The first response I got, because Ali the fuck better. I'm like, I didn't say Ali isn't great.
Why isn't Floyd being considered?
So I simply said, well, here's the thing. Ali is fucking great. Floyd is he's one of only 5 people to ever win a belt in 5 different weight classes. He's the only one of them to win 16 different championships. He has a perfect 50-0 record. He's the greatest defensive fighter in the history of boxing. BoxRec, who's the #1 ranking system for boxers, has him ranked at #1 all time, pound for pound. I'm like, he single-handedly debunked HBO boxing. He has the top 5 pay-per-view buys in boxing history, all 5 of them, and he made $1 billion in his career. So yeah, I see what you're talking about. Like, that was simply what I said. It sounds like you're speaking more about Canelo. So I'm like, well, here's the thing. Canelo literally has done none of the things I just mentioned.
He's done none of that shit.
Canelo he's won a belt in 4 different weight classes. He isn't undefeated. Whispers, Floyd beat him. I'm like, he only has one of the top 5 pay-per-view buys in history. Whispers,
with Floyd
Mayweather. He didn't debunk HBO boxing. The one thing that he did was he unified the super middleweight belts. So again, I see what you're saying. Then he responds, well, you're taking this thing way out of context because what they did here was they took one person from each sport. So why would they have Floyd and Ali? So I'm like, bro, I'm looking at the picture. Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi
play
soccer. Oh, fuck you, man. I'm like, this is what I mean when I'm like,
fuck you, man.
This is what I be talking about. When it just be like, I can't, like, I have to just, and I
you
just,
a bitch ass nigga.
And I just disengaged.
Blocked.
And they went on and on and on, atting me all night with just different shit. You know what I'm saying?
All because you asked why isn't Floyd on here?
Yeah. I can pick 5 people better than Floyd. Shit, I'd rather have Pele on the list. What the fuck are you talking about? I was like, you know what? And I thought about just blocking the Bleacher Report so that this shit could like be off of my page, like off of my notifications or whatever. Pele. Yeah. But it's just like, it's you see, like, in my opinion,
Pele, man. That nigga probably 17 talking about some goddamn Pele. That's like me saying fucking Chuck Berry, my favorite artist.
But the reason I brought this
fucking
up,
chubby checker.
The reason I brought this up is these are all the notifications, mind you. One of the notifications I got was like, Floyd ain't on this list because he's a fucking woman beater. And I'm like, that right there could get you into some shit. Because you're stating this like...
Matter of factly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I wasn't even talking about... Now, I was simply saying, yo, as far as him being one of the greatest athletes... He deserves the acknowledgement for the shit he did.
We want to start calling out motherfuckers' flaws. Michael Jordan's a degenerate gambler.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that though. Yeah. All I simply said is, why isn't Floyd on this list? Because when I think of greatest athletes of all time, him and LeBron just instantly, it's like, yo, why isn't... Now I get it. LeBron is still going, I guess, because at the end of the day, everybody in that joint, minus Simone Biles, who Simone Biles might be finished too on the Olympic side of things, but everybody in that picture is pretty much, you figure, Tom Brady, if he's retired now, Jordan's retired, Ali, Tiger's done, Phelps is done, Usain is done, like Babe Ruth died 900 years ago, Gretzky done, you know what I'm saying?
They pulled out Gretzky in the Oilers jersey.
Oh,
not even
Babe Ruth is in black and white. He ain't even in color. Like,
yeah, get Babe Ruth fat ass out of here, man.
You even making the color?
Like, yeah, right, exactly. I like all bullshit aside, like finishing with that, I have literally gotten to the point where I don't respect the Baseball Hall of Fame at all.
Yeah, you can't.
Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best baseball players ever.
He was a Hall of Famer before he started juicing.
He was a Hall of Famer in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
The nigga literally got fucking 8 gold gloves before he was doing
the nigga
this
was
shit.
doing 40-40 every year, and they was like, nigga, that's cool. No,
he's the only human being in
history. Niggas hitting 70 home runs. The fuck you talking about?
He's the only human being in history to have 500 home runs and 500 stolen bases. Like, y'all know if I get on, I'm taking one of these motherfuckers. So I'm
leaving with something.
Dog. And Barry Bonds, I watched Barry Bonds pre-juice get walked with the bases loaded. That's a different type of threat walking to the plate. Yeah. When your coach is like, give up the one. We up
because we not giving up the 4, the 3 of the 4. Give up the 1.
We up 2. They was up 2. It was 8-6. They walked that nigga. The bases loaded.
Who's up next? Oh yeah, nah. We'll put him up.
Yeah.
We'll take our chances.
Yeah.
No. Barry Bonds, one of the most phenomenal athletes I've ever seen in my life.
Carlos Joshua walked off this nigga.
Get this big head nigga on base.
And it's so funny because me and Rob was talking about it the other day. Oh, don't tell me he took it down. Tell me it's still up here. Fuck. But
Yeah,
I want
the fucking baseball Hall of Fame, joke. NFL Hall of Fame, joke.
I want to speak Rick Ross because in these times you need Rick Ross.
You need a Rick Ross quote.
You need a Rick Ross quote. This was Rick Ross in an interview that during an album release. Why they're talking about this, I don't know.
Okay.
But this is Rick Ross's thoughts on HGH and steroids in baseball.
Another thing, the athletes. What's wrong with a little HGH? You 35, let's take Shaq for instance. He's my best friend. You feel me? His hip, his knee.
He's a big dude. You're not supposed to be 36.
Exactly. He 30-something years, jumping up and down.
You're not supposed to do that.
What's wrong with a little HGH?
I have no qualms with
What's
that.
wrong with that? Come on, y'all know Mark McGuire was only hitting 15 home runs a year. Then overnight, they went to 60 a season. But he did it for the game. I stopped watching baseball till HGH came back. So y'all gotta keep it real. What y'all want to do? Y'all want to get money? Y'all want to sell hot dogs? Y'all want to sell memorabilia? Gotta hit
Memorabilia?
If y'all want to fuck around and go out of business, keep fucking with Petit them and got them telling on my boy Roger Clemens. Y'all keep being with that bullshit. Roger Clemens is a fucking hero. Now y'all turning y'all back. Little HGH. Man, throwing 100-mile-per-hour fastballs. Been doing it 20 years.
To the boss, man. God damn, that was great. Y'all want to fuck around? And go out of business.
4 points of that. He made memorabilia 6 syllables.
Yes, memorabilia. He made HGH 9 syllables. HG. What's wrong with a little HGH? HGH.
My man was like, who the fuck is Petit? I'm like, Andy Pettit.
Y'all want to fuck around with Petit telling on Roger Clemens? Roger Clemens is a fucking hero.
Andy Pettit was the one that told on Roger Clemens.
Andy Pettit.
My homie was like, who the fuck is Petit? I'm like, he tried to say Pettit, but he couldn't pronounce it.
But he's from fucking Dade County, so he couldn't get it out.
And then the Roger Clemens is a fucking hero.
Ross is great, yo.
Petit's a fly.
Petit's a fly ass shit.
I'm changing my fucking Twitter name to Petit.
You definitely
today,
sound
nigga.
like a fucking drug dealer. No, I got Petit bringing him junk. Bringing him junk.
Want to fuck around and go out of business.
Bro, don't you want to sell hot dogs?
Memorabilia.
He did it for the game. I stopped watching baseball till HGH. Buy a Rick Ross quote that good. Like Rick Ross is fucking hilarious.
Rick Ross is the greatest motivational speaker of all time.
Dog.
Can you imagine if Rick Ross was like our president or vice president addressing the nation?
I said it before. I'd like to see Rick Ross narrate a film. Yeah, because he could just sell anything.
Rick Ross up there, fucking his first vice presidential Jones, like shit a little fucked up right now. But we gonna survive. We gonna persevere.
You imagine him narrating 300? His helmet was stifling. His shield was heavy. Rick Ross just make you feel this.
Ross is great, man.
The fucking greatest, man. He did it for the game.
For the game. You wanna fuck around with Petit?
Yo,
go out of business. You see why not? You stupid motherfuckers.
I fuck with Rick Ross.
Fucking idiots.
That's one of the greatest. But the funny part about it is he had no business speaking on it, but he 100% right.
1,000% right.
And he did it for the game. Baseball was falling the fuck off. That HGH brought that shit back.
Listen,
that Sosa McGuire.
Y'all canceled the World Series, nigga.
Yeah.
Y'all was down bad.
Talk about it.
Y'all canceled the World Series,
hey,
nigga.
Look, we ain't having a championship this year because y'all playing games.
Yeah, we can't come to no type of agreement.
We got all this Cracker Jacks sitting in the back. We can't sell none of this
all
shit.
this caramel corn. This shit is a rat, nigga.
Score 1-0 every game.
No. We ain't sold no foam fingers, no inflatable baseball bats. This
no
shit
marginally
bad.
racist Cleveland Indians merch.
remember the boy Bomani Jones came on. He had a shirt where it said Cleveland people instead of Indians. Cracking the fuck up. Dog. But Rick Ross is right,
Oh,
man.
my
What's
God,
wrong with a
man.
little HGH, man? They did it for the game.
Stop watching baseball.
Yo, shout out Rick Ross. Is one of the greatest
Ross is the
fucking
greatest,
Jones ever.
man.
Not Cardi B. Rihanna has fucked the internet up in the last hour since we've been here. Did you know this?
Preggers.
Yeah.
Showed that stomach. They've been, they've been speculating this for like a month now.
But we all knew she was pregnant, didn't we?
They've been speculating.
Okay.
Nobody confirmed it.
Yeah.
She came out with the baby bump showing, niggas that never had a shot is like throwing they fucking beer glasses across the room because they thought somehow, some way they was going to run into Rihanna one day.
I gotta give Kyle his props because I told y'all before. I think Kyle is one of the funniest people on Twitter who doesn't get the credit. Kyle Shinobu should have 2 million followers on Twitter.
Kyle's Dyke series of tweets is the greatest shit in Twitter history.
Mojo Green 1217. He posted a picture of Drake writing in like his book. It said, "Dear diary, bruv, men's them long into Twitter and see Rihanna news. Men's feeling the rise, man. Waste man took them sugars.
Waste man took them sugar.
Waste man took them sugars.
Good.
Waste man." Kyle silly as shit, man. But yeah, Rihanna done fucked the whole internet up. This now, her and ASAP have come out now with their baby, and literally, I got a text. I got two texts about it. I know y'all gonna talk about this. I'm like, there's really nothing to say. It's like when you're with a woman and you decide you're having a baby, you kind of get in there.
You gotta keep dumping. Gotta put some shots up at the rim, baby.
ASAP is
He is maximizing his shot.
ASAP is he's gonna win an award. It's just something.
Yeah, he's maximizing his shot. He's gonna win the Travis Scott Award. The Travis Scott Secure the Bag Award.
Okay. Yeah. Damn, how about it? Because Travis Scott is not securing the bag.
Right now, no.
It's kind of crazy to have an award named after you and then never secure the bag again. Like completely fuck up the bag for your whole life is crazy. But I'll be honest with you, yo, like not trying to be, and I be a little bit just oblivious at times. I didn't know Rihanna was as rich as she is.
She's a billionaire.
I did not know this.
Fenty is selling like a motherfucker.
Lee the other day was like, she don't like whatever the fuck store she was talking about going to because they don't carry black makeup, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what are the big black ones? And she was like, well, the biggest one. And I was like, L'Oreal? She was like, nigga. She was like, you don't know the biggest black all around fragrance, makeup. Then I'm like, Honey Pot. She was like, nigga, that's fucking for period shit. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I see a lot of that shit around the house. I don't know. She was like, you don't know the biggest black one. I'm like, Jay-Z. She was like, stop. What the fuck? Fenty. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, Robin Fenty. Like
had it not been Jay-Z, I'm like, Martin Luther. I had no clue. But yeah, the Fenty shit, the cosmetic shit alone is like a 600. They said she just got 125 million in investment money from Hove.
Yeah.
And the dude who owned, he was a CEO of, I forgot what it was. But they gave 125 mil to basically pump the Fenty shit into like national stores where it's like the Fenty shit would be in Walmarts.
Damn.
So I'm just like, at this point, Rihanna's on her way to a couple billion.
Yeah.
I really had no clue.
Yeah, no, Rihanna getting that chicken. That's why she ain't interested in doing no album.
Yeah.
People in her mentions all day, every day in her IG comments. She like, man, y'all shut the fuck up.
They go, when is the album coming? Album for what?
What?
I sell lipstick and I got this sassy Harlem nigga beating my brains in the bedroom. I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Motherfucking Master P said it best. He said, product don't talk back. He said, man, I put this motherfucker on the shelf. It don't say nothing. I made you for 30 cents. I'm selling you for $5.99, nigga. You don't got nothing to say. You can do their motherfucking job. Like, at the end of the day, Rihanna's in the product game and she made a lot of fucking money, transformed her fucking life. She's the biggest star in the history of her country from fucking from Barbados. Like, she's a national fucking hero. She is probably responsible for 30% of the economy. as it relates to that fucking to that nation. So yeah, I album for what? I'm a mother. I'm a entrepreneur, CEO. I'm done with you niggas.
Dog, like
I ain't singing none of these Tricky Stewart songs ever again in my goddamn life. Realest Podcast 7, we back, man. We had a little brief intermission. Y'all didn't hear it, but we had to deal with a couple little technical difficulties, but we back here, man.
brief my ass. Dan had to leave.
Yeah, Dan had to go to the doctor. There's all type of shit going on, man. You know, the technology doesn't always work in our favor, but you know.
Dan said, I get this camera shit later.
Yeah, he said, just bring all of it. You coming out, bring all of this shit with you. These lights, all this crazy shit. So now I got a whole job to do. But yeah, we was talking about, you know, Rihanna and her dominating, you know, the product game. We,
in the midst of us being away, I looked and what I was saying, it was Jay-Z, the CEO of LVMH. Did I say that right?
Yes.
What's his name?
Bernard Arnault.
And the Abu Dhabi government.
Yes.
Has invested into her.
Did you see Bernard? You know, everybody's going crazy over the Tiffany Patek. Bernard popped out with the 5980.
I didn't see
the
that.
big joint with the Tiffany dial on that motherfucker. I'm just like,
well, yeah, kind of own all.
I'm the CEO.
Yeah.
Own all this shit.
You know, very interesting what I saw the other day. I watched a documentary on the 2008 the housing market collapse and everything.
Yeah.
It's a very good documentary. I can't tell you the name of it right now. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in documentary of 2008 financial crisis and see if it pops up. Inside Job.
Inside Job. Okay.
That's it. Hold on. The man standing on the money.
Yeah.
It's called Inside Job, but it gets into detail what happened into. Did you ever really get into that process?
Yeah, I saw. I was working in.
We were in it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
just how the whole.
No, like the movie The Big Short is about the whole shit.
So basically, like simplify, it was showing just how like it all could have been avoided, but motherfuckers was playing so greedy, and that's really what happened.
Yeah, there was in The Big Short. There's an economist. I forget his name, but played by Matthew McConaughey in the movie, and it's basically he was telling them in 2006, like, yo, this shit is going to happen. It's like when he started digging into what these class A, B, and C rated bonds were. Like, what is in this shit? Like, what
they had it AAA, BB. So it's sort of like seats.
Yeah, so it's like, so what's the rating on? It's like, so how do we come with this rating system? Like, what are all the parts that are going into this? And in dissecting it, he basically found out that the sauce had a bunch of mixed meat in it.
So Pete, it was basically like when you go to get a mortgage, you go to apply for a mortgage, you go to a bank. Right? The bank will either approve your mortgage or deny the mortgage, whatever. But when you go to the bank will give you people who are banking with the money, their money as a loan, right? They make dividends on a loan. You pay interest on a loan. That's how it works. What happened in that situation was so many banks were reaching out to investment banks, and the investment banks were basically selling these ratings. They were getting ratings from the financial Jones, where it's like AA, and they were rating all types of predatory loans as like the best loans you could do.
It was basically like two negatives cancel each other out. So if you put a bunch of negative loans into one file, as long as it's an even number, it equals out to a positive.
And the investment bankers were making so much money off of the fact that they were getting so many deals done and being able to give all these different investors money. It was like, oh, let's keep doing more and more and more and more and more. So you had people that were literally, they were showing one Joe, the dude, he had a job where he made $58,000 a year and was going out to get his first house. The nigga got approved for a $400,000 home loan. And he was just like, he thought he was going to get approved for 170.
Yeah.
They gave him 400. Like, they was doing shit like that.
And it was even worse than that. There were situations with people that had like no verifiable income, no tax returns, no nothing. It was like sign and drive, like you was buying a damn Volkswagen, and people was going getting 4 and 5 houses. And that's what they showed in the movie The Big Short, where he got so frustrated, he started doing market research, like pulling the fucking loans and going to these houses and seeing like who's living here, what's the condition of the house, blah blah blah. And he's talking to these people, and this lady's like, yeah, I dance, and then I'm like a bartender at Hooters, and this and this and this. And he's like, well, how did you be able to afford this house? Oh, it was an adjustable rate mortgage. I just had to sign this and this. I didn't have to include anything. They wrapped it all up in the mortgage, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, all right, well, what's the note here? She's like, well, right now it's $1,700, but it's going to $4,000 in 8 months. He's like, okay, well, that's not too bad. Do you have money saved? Or da, da, da? No, not really. Okay, so what's the worst part of all of this? I have 4 houses. Shit like that. Like literally the government.
Yeah, it was wild.
The government allowed these investment bankers and then these private banks like AEG and shit like that to basically AIG, yeah, to sell us up the river. Like
it gets into AIG and Lehman Brothers.
Yes, they were the 2 worst ones.
Dog, the nigga who worked at Lehman Brothers, literally the day that the Dow went down 775 points, that nigga left. Like he quit the job with Lehman's and went back to, he was a professor at a college. And they was like interviewing him like, dog, the day that this shit like blew the fuck up, you straight went back to like teach at the school. And he was like, well, yeah, you know, I had to get my lesson plans done. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you don't think we need you on this day? But like, dog, that shit is.
It's like I'm not in the financial business
I'm not
anymore.
in the business.
I don't know.
I'm not in the business.
I've bowed out. Sometimes the industry will retire you. I'm retired.
They were showing how motherfuckers literally went from making $600,000 the previous year to making $115 million the next year. This shit was nuts. It's a real good documentary. It's called Inside Job. Though.
I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Yeah, I watched that shit the other day. But
yeah, back to the Rihanna thing. So part of the investment that she got was from the Abu Dhabi government.
Right.
Like that's crazy to even think to where it's just like, yo,
see how many panties you slinging?
Slinging a lot of panties, a lot of bras, a lot of foundation. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of thongs running.
We trying to cut in. You know,
got robes and shit. Okay.
A couple little slippers, a little hair there. Yeah. We went in on this motherfucking business. So
night gowns and shit. Yeah.
So I mean, shout out to Rihanna, shout out ASAP Rocky for securing the bag, logging down a baby with a potential multi-billionaire. And she's bad as shit. So it's like, you really can't go wrong, man. I'm pretty sure that
I absolutely love Rihanna. Have I ever said that?
She's amazing.
Like I literally
she's the top to me.
Yeah, she's up there.
She's the top.
She's there.
She's the top. I was telling my man Reef yesterday. I was like, yo, if Ruby Rose had a scoop more titties, she would be at the top of everybody's list. She's just a little too lacking to go right to the top of the list. Like if she had the same amount of titties as Rihanna, she'd be right there. She wouldn't be above Rihanna, but
they have Rihanna's net worth at $1.7 billion.
That's a beautiful thing. Clap it up for Rihanna. Hey, Rihanna Navy, I have a PSA. Y'all niggas ain't never getting another album.
No,
it's a wrap. Y'all might as well find a new artist to like.
Yeah,
might as well join Mulatto fan club or whatever the hell.
Are there any other Caribbeans out there right now?
Senseiya.
Thames is Thames Caribbean.
Thames is Caribbean.
Okay.
Then there's Senseiya, who has the record with Meg Thee Stallion that's doing great numbers right now. She's bad as fuck too. I think she's from I want to say Jamaica. She's bad as fuck too though.
Okay. News to me.
Yeah. I'm trying to find her.
What's the name of the girl who was on the Drake record? On Certified Lover Boy. Oh, that's Tim.
Thames, yeah,
okay,
TMS.
Tim's. Well, no, it's another motherfucker then. That does that type of music. That islandy.
Yeah, I'm trying to show Matt.
Bahama Mama.
She got this damn challenge going on right now on her page, so I can't see her in this big ass. But yeah, that shit's sad.
Okay. This person.
Oh,
Essence. Wizkid.
Yeah.
Is that an island person?
He's African.
Okay.
He makes Afrobeat music.
They dropped him off first. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, he's African.
Okay. Well, yeah, shout out to Rihanna. Shout out to ASAP. I saw somebody was like, when the baby comes out and realizes who his mom is, like, oh, shit. Yeah, people was tight, though, man.
That's funny. Real quick before we move on and wrap this thing up, shout out to Wallow. He just got a new position at YouTube Music as an advisor. I don't really know what that means, but congratulations. That's a big company. He's over there working with Tuma Bassa, that used to be at Spotify, and Leora Cohen, who's the global head of YouTube Music. So they're making a real push to, I guess, identify different artists to get behind and, give that extra push and give, put some extra spike on the YouTube algorithm and things like that too. So pretty sure Wallo's probably gonna be helping, you know, to identify, you know, what artists they should be focusing on, different things like that. And hopefully it'll be like more of a leg up, try to even the playing field more for the independent artists that are out there, and not just, you know, more of the same where it's like, you know, the artists with the big album budgets and the label budgets and all that shit get all of the focus, and they the only ones trending and stuff like that, because it's a lot of dope indie artists out there. You know, all of the whole Detroit scene, I Swear Vezo, Babyface Ray, you got a big scene you know, in Memphis right now, all those different artists. Some fall under Gotti, some fall under Dolph, some are totally independent. Atlanta always has a huge amount of artists. You go to Atlanta right now, cut the damn radio on, you're going to hear 35 songs from 35 artists you never heard of in your life. So hopefully those artists can, you know, get some more of the spotlight, some more of the shine through people like Wallo, Tuma, identifying them and putting that YouTube push behind them, which is one of the absolute biggest user generated platforms, especially when it comes to music. They're probably top 3, I would imagine. Spotify, Apple Music, and, you know, and YouTube Music, probably the top 3 right now. So that's dope, man. Shout out Wallo. Like I said, we stand with Wallo. Friend to the show. So congrats to him on the new position, getting more checks out there, getting that money.
I want to talk about something.
Okay. This is a podcast. That's what we do here. We talk about stuff.
I watched the Love of My Childhood Life documentary the other day.
Okay.
That's Janet Jackson, by the way. Miss Jackson, if you nasty. You know what I'm saying?
Penny from Good Times.
You ruined my image. Think about these little girls and shit. But I absolutely love Janet Jackson. I've always loved her. My mother loved her. Like, literally, I can remember watching the
my mom loves Janet Jackson.
I remember watching the Rhythm Nation tour and the Velvet Rope tour and shit. Like, Janet is it, man. Janet, like, I'm going to tell you why I like Janet Jackson so much. Because her older brother is Michael Jackson. I'm not trying to be funny. If my older brother is Michael Jackson, I'm not working very hard. Shit. I don't know if I'm working very hard today, Mom. Mike got us.
There's nothing for me to do. I have no ambitions, no accomplishments.
He put out Thriller. What the fuck am I about to do? This is gonna, like, no, like, and Janet, she came out. The first album wasn't that great. Second album didn't do very good. And she had enough wherewithal to be like, no, I have a vision for myself. Yeah. One, I have to stop messing with Dad because Dad is tripping. You know what I'm saying? I got to stop dealing with him. I got to start writing my own music. And she went in there with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and
made a masterpiece.
You know, I'll give them niggas credit for staying in them same suits for the last 35 years.
37 years.
It's amazing. Jimmy Jam, you know, I think he had the weight loss surgery or whatever.
Yeah.
He looks like a Pez dispenser. I'll say this. I always question what it be with certain, because I had it, and it just like Al Sharpton, like how do they be getting that like thin?
Yeah, Al was like, put the extra spice on my shit.
He looks like this microphone. Like,
yeah, give me the lap band with the cayenne pepper on top of. Like, I need some extras.
Cause
Star Jones, same thing.
Yeah, they look like Rottweiler puppies. Like they heads be gigantic. You know what I'm saying? I swear, yo.
He look like Rottweiler, Cane Corso puppies.
But
what Turtle said, dog's got a big fucking head.
Dog's got a big fucking head, man. Like, but no. So the documentary was a 2-part documentary. Well, actually 4-part, 2 nights.
Okay,
there's an hour each part. So they did 2 hours first night, 2 hours second night, 4-part documentary. And it basically follows Janet through her whole progression, you know, and being Penny in Good Times, you know, the littlest sister, baby, to being Miss motherfucking Janet. You know what I mean?
Miss Jackson if you're nasty.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, knowing like what she came, like the Jackson 5 is her older brothers.
Right.
Jermaine's her older brother. Mike is her older brother. Like, you know, like, I'm not trying to be funny. I watch like local nigger celebrities who make it and they family members be out of fucking control.
Right.
Like, to have Mike down the hallway and you just like, no, I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna go do the fucking fame. I'm gonna go over here with Debbie Allen and we gonna do. That's some real dedication.
That's super commendable.
That's super duper dedication.
Because if you did nothing, nobody would fault you.
We wouldn't have tripped. Not once Thriller dropped.
Yeah.
So you didn't watch the documentary?
I didn't watch it yet.
Okay, so it basically goes like, and I'm gonna get into like their financial structure because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Okay,
so the documentary starts. She goes to the old house, their initial house in Gary, Indiana. You know Gary, you can only come in daytime.
Shit rugged.
Yeah, you can't.
That shit is.
You
rugged.
get in for 10 minutes, so you gotta get the fuck out of here. But she went to the old crib that they grew up in. The house that they grew up in was 671 square feet.
That's crazy.
It was 9 kids. And Joe and
the apartment that we in right now is like
1,200.
More than that.
Yeah, no, it's big. It's probably 13. Yeah.
Big ass apartment.
My apartment big as fuck. Yeah. Like, seriously. Like, when you think about 600 square feet with 11 people in it.
That's rough.
That's wild. So she met Randy there, and Randy doesn't have anything to do. And that's what I'm going to get to a little later.
Randy doesn't have anything.
Randy has nothing going on. She met Randy.
Oh, we doing a documentary?
Oh, God. Exactly. Nobody else pulled up. Randy, like, I'm pulling up. You heard me? Like, this is my moment to shine. Get some airtime.
Niggas finally want to hear what Randy got to say.
Want to talk to Randy? What am I jacking with the tassels? Sorry. So Randy pulled up. And Randy's giving her the breakdown because she was such a baby. Think about it. When Mike and them blew, she was a little kid. Yeah. So she don't really remember all the shit from the house. And Randy's like, so out here in the living room, you have Reby, LaToya, and you. Y'all just sleep in the living room. She's like, oh my God, are you serious? He was like, yeah, there's only 2 bedrooms. So, you know what I'm saying? Joe and Catherine had the master bedroom, if you want to call it that. Yeah. Then in the back, that bedroom was the boys. So he's like, we had 2 bunk beds. Tito slept on the bottom. Jermaine was on the top, or Jackie was on the top. He said Jermaine was on the bottom here. Me, Mike, and Marlon were in this one, and then Tito was on that one. He's like, 3 of y'all slept in the middle slot of a 3. He was like, yeah, I mean, where else are we gonna sleep? He was like, Jermaine was on the bottom. Me, Mike, and Marlon were in the middle, and Tito was on the top.
That's crazy.
He's like, Marlon and Mike used to pee on me together. You know what I'm saying? Like every day. You know?
Twin piss.
Twin piss. You know what I'm saying? And so they leave from the house, whatever. And then it goes into her progression of her becoming who she became. And it talks about how the first album was not good and the second album didn't do well. And then what she did with Rhythm Nation, like writing, she was real socially conscious. You know what I'm saying? She was talking about women's rights and talking about AIDS and talking about all these things that it was kind of like, you don't really, bitch, you just dance and look good. This was the 80s. You know what I mean? And Rhythm Nation hit, and it was a good documentary because it gets into like all her shit with the DeBarge, with what was his name? James DeBarge. Then gets into the shit with Renee and all, and like,
did they do a Bobby Brown section?
No, and we was kind of like on Twitter, like, all right, bitch, you
skipping some shit.
Towing the
line. Bobby told us he bust that ass. You playing games?
Yeah, Bobby ain't lied to us yet. Bobby up there with LeVar, but basically, it talks about how ridiculous James was, the barge with the nonsense, him on the coke and all that shit, and whatever the fuck he was on. It gets into how like the drugs were kind of. They said when the Jacksons was having parties at the crib, David Bowie brought the coke to the house.
Got the brick.
Yeah, gotta have a joint with me. Let's turn up.
Man, just saw the JBM niggas on my way down. Got the brick.
Yeah, fucking Y'all met Freeway? He right down the street. Freeway right down the street.
Nice guy. The nicest guy.
Nicest guy. But it gets into the shit with the DeBarge. He was a wild motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? She was talking about how she was having to go look for him and do all this crazy shit and this and the third.
He was a crackhead.
Yeah, he was wild. You know what I'm saying? Man. Yeah. Then it's how Renee was the one that pulled the sex shit out of her. Because remember, she wasn't on that type of time. Yeah. And even down to like when she did the video for, again, I was going to ask, what's your favorite Janet record?
I like Control.
Mine's is Again from Poetic Justice. Yeah. That shit was fantastic. But when she did the video, Renee directed the video. That was her dude. Yeah. And the guy in the video with her, he's kissing her and licking her and pulled the chain up from her pants, like playing in her pants and shit. And she said the guy is like, yo, like, you got a dude? Like, and she like, yeah. And he was like,
he's actually directed.
She was like, yo, he was like, oh, he don't feel no type way about like, all of this, like kissing, touching, da-da-da-da. She was like, well, he's directing the video. And look over, boy, like, yeah, nigga, put your hand in there. Like,
grab that ass, man.
Get in there.
Grab some pussy next time. Renee, full
try to make $1 million. Get your hand in.
Grab some clit next time, nigga.
Full cuckold.
Renee off screen jacking off like,
right.
That's right. Touch some titties.
Touch some titties.
Great titties ain't that pay good money for them titties.
You know that's me holding the titties on the magazine cover. Gotta touch some titties every chance you get. So yeah, it goes through all of that. The first 2 episodes is pretty cool because it's like the build up.
Yeah.
The last 2 episodes is when it gets into like she was about to sign a deal with Coca-Cola. She just got $60 million from Richard Branson to sign with Virgin.
Yeah.
Made her the highest paid female artist ever at the time. All of that, and then the Mike allegations popped.
Damn.
And how shit all fell apart with that shit. And then how one thing the family shit, like they looked crazy to us at times, just through all the years and the nonsense. But they definitely all rode. Like all listen to Joe. They all rode for Mike and this, that, and the third. But I will say this: they're like all families do. People separate. You know what I'm saying? Things happen. And Mike blowing with Thriller, while it was like the greatest financial shit ever, and
fuck the family up,
because it like. But like, dog, I'm doing a show for 300,000 in Sri Lanka. Mike did a show for a couple 100,000 people in a fucking country that only had 400,000 population.
75% of the population is at Mike's show.
Everything's closed. Mike covered the day. That shit real. So she like Reby was on there like, yeah, I didn't see Mike for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? During that shit. And look, Tito's like, oh, I didn't see Mike for this long. And Jermaine's like, yeah, you had to call to get Mike on the line. And you know what I'm saying? This, that, and like, it just was all over the fucking place with them. So it's just like, yeah, like it just kind of became a mess in the Mike success and all of that shit. And it made me, just me being me, go and like look the shit up. Like, I want to know how the family's doing, because one thing I thought was interesting about this documentary, like I said, Randy pulled up. Nobody else is like actually in the same room.
And normally Jermaine is a camera whore. He can't wait to tell his motherfucking side of the story.
Give me 3 hours, let me grease up. I'll be down there. So it's like Tito is in, like, you know how they do what they call them, like the confessionals from reality show. Tito does that. Janet actually went to Kathleen's house, but Mike's mom, look, she's not doing. Damn. She's like almost like in a comatose state. Jeez. That's what it looked like. Like she's alert and awake, but she just. She ain't with us. You know what I'm saying? Joe did, whatever. So Marlon, they don't talk to Marlon much. They talk to Jermaine a little bit, whatever. So I went and looked at it because I'm like, how much is Michael Jackson's shit worth? Yeah. And it doesn't make much sense to me. And this is what I was more so getting at. So I go and look. I see that Michael Jackson, when he died, was worth about $110 million. They said that number has ballooned, of course, since his death to where his estate is worth $500 million. They estimate that it's either $500 million or $2 billion. I'm like, that's a wild estimate. I was like, that's a big gaping ass.
That reminds me of like one time I was watching something with Kanye on there. Somebody was giving him like an estimate, and they was like, yeah, it's probably like 10 or 20. He's like, all right, so let me ask you this: is it 10 or 20? Because that's 100% difference, right? So it's like, is it 12? Is it 14? Like, is it 10 or is it 20? Or is it some other number that you're afraid to tell me? Right. Like, this doesn't make sense.
So what I saw on the thing was they reporting it at $500 million. Michael Jackson, when he died, he left 60% of his money to his kids, 40% to his mother. Right? Yeah. So the way it breaks down on there is he has the son Paris, he has the son Blanket, and then he has the girl. Yeah. Forgot the girl's name.
I forget the daughter's name.
They're all 3 Caucasian kids. Which is very strange.
These are not Mike's children.
Yeah, it's very strange. Like, these look like John Stamos and Elizabeth Berkley's children from Full House. But
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So Paris is worth $100 million. The girl is worth $100 million. Blanket is worth $100 million. Yeah. Mike's mom is worth $175 million. I'm like when you look at those numbers, I'm like, okay, Mike's estate was worth $500. He broke it down 60-40. Cool. Yeah. Janet is worth $200 million, right? And in my mind, I'm thinking like the Jacksons. Mike owned the Beatles catalog. The Jacksons,
Mike's shit that he bought is the foundation of Sony ATV.
I was about to say Sony has it back now.
Yeah, they have it back now.
So I'm thinking like Jackson 5 owned all their fucking music. You know what I'm saying? All of record sales, all the touring, all that shit. I'm like, they all got to be somewhat straight. So I'm looking at it like, okay, Mike's mom is worth $175. All 3 of Mike's kids are worth a bean. Janet's worth $200. then it's a significant drop because Jermaine is worth 5. And I'm like, huh? Tito is worth 3. Jackie is worth 2. Marlon is worth 1 million. And then it said Randy N.A. and Randy is working odd jobs. I'm like, that's why Randy pulled up.
Pulled right up. How much the budget for the documentary?
Yeah. No, I be shoveling snow. Ain't no snow today.
Give me a little 30,000. I'll pull up, man. I'll walk you through this whole shit.
So I'm thinking, like,
I got a photographic memory.
How did you get to a point where a family that was so tight and has so much money that the brothers ain't like filthy fucking rich?
Yeah.
I was like, this shit is bizarre.
Very
Bizarre as shit, right?
how bizarre.
So it was. I don't know why it just made me go look into that. And when I saw Randy N.A., I'm like,
Yeah,
damn.
I was guessing. Mike said, you know, I'm gonna leave mom the 40%. She'd take care of everybody else, and mom
Mom
told
just
her,
been asleep for 7 years.
pussy.
2 fingers up as I leave the room, nigga. Like, yeah, but you know, I just look at it and I'm just like, God damn, like you would think that they'd all be super duper fucking straight, but that's just
Clearly not the case.
That's just not the case. But it was a good documentary, all in all. Like I said, it really got into like a lot of different points, and then one part that it triggered me all over again, and I want to do this. My y'all weird of the week or of the last couple decades. They got into the Super Bowl performance with Justin Timberlake, and I haven't fucked with Justin Timberlake since that going on. And Janet even had to say it in the documentary, like, can y'all stop hating Justin Timberlake? Like, I know everybody kind of like, you know, because he dipped out and didn't want to, you know, come out and da-da-da-da-da. But we're good friends. I spoke to him recently. Can y'all stop hating Justin Timberlake? And I'm
Like, no.
bitch, no. I'm drinking that.
Bitch, fuck no.
No, fuck him.
Hell no, fuck no.
Justin Timberlake, legitimately, his 4-year rendezvous with hip hop culture is the weirdest shit ever.
You know, it really is.
Justin Timberlake had cornrows. We let it slide. We are.
Oh, he went Pharrell. It's all good.
No, I mean, you know, clips. Like, Justin Timberlake had cornrows. That nigga finessed some of the hottest beats ever out of Timberland and Pharrell. Dropped 2 hip hop centric albums. Had that shit happen and bounced and straight went to make. He's making country
That nigga
music.
made an album called In the Woods.
Dog.
Nigga had on a motherfucking flannel and some long.
He had a
johns.
tour with Hove.
Yeah, Legends of the Summer tour.
We really let Justin Timberlake just finesse. And that be my one joke. Like, and I'm not a racist. I make a lot of jokes and shit. I'm not racist, but at times I really do just be like disappointed in us as a culture. Asian boy come around with some fucking Air Max on and a Givenchy shirt talking about what's up, boy. Motherfuckers like, yo, Asian boy cool as shit.
Yeah.
Let you put on some wooden sandals and go to Beijing. You're tripping.
Get fucking hit with the sandman cane, with the Kendu stick.
with the bamboo.
Fucking Kendu stick. Get this nigga out of here.
Like, dog.
Yeah,
like,
we're so willingly willing to accept people, and they invited to the cookout. That dumbass.
I be
shit.
saying that shit all the time. The motherfuckers, oh yeah, so and so invited to the cookout, and I be like, yo, it's some of y'all niggas that don't need to come to the cookout no more. Like, that shit is so bizarre. Justin Timberlake really just slid in and was cool as shit. And Paul Mooney had a great joke when he was like, he was taking questions from the crowd and was like, explain how hard it is to be a black man. He was like, how hard it is to be a black man? Oh, you want to know how hard it is to be a black man? Shit. Ask Justin Timberlake. He was a nigga for 30 minutes. Look at all the shit he got into. like, dog. Like, that shit is crazy. But he really just like, and Janet even like said on the joint, like, yo, like, I know, you know, she's like, he came to me and was like, yo, I felt like, should I say something? And I'm like, no, don't worry about it. You know, it'll blow over, whatever. And Jermaine Dupri's on the documentary. And Jermaine Dupri is just like, yo, like, that shit still don't sit with me right. Like, the way people acted during that situation, like, what the Janet Jackson is the most famous fucking woman on the planet. Like, what the fuck? Like, not trying to be funny, Mariah Carey in this documentary. Yeah. Mariah Carey don't know none of these bitches. Mariah Carey pulled up for the documentary. Right. If that don't fucking tell you exactly what it is, like Mariah pulled up for the documentary.
Mariah don't fuck with nobody.
Mariah don't fuck with nobody. So she pulled up. And Jermaine Dupri is like, yo, like, what the fuck in y'all minds would make y'all think Janet had to do anything to stir up some controversy? It's fucking Janet Jackson, dog. Y'all tripping. And he was talking about how their whole shit fell apart because he was cheating. I'm like,
yeah, you know, the whole Confessions album was about him.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, man, like Jermaine Dupri, man, cheating on Janet. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Jermaine
Dupri outkicked his coverage, and then he went ahead and just started self-sabotaging. Yeah. Like, this woman really love me? Like, no, she don't. I'm gonna go fuck a stripper.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fuck a stripper.
Dog. But yeah, real good documentary. Like I said, they had everybody in the joint, minus the couple Jacksons that should have been in there that wasn't.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the joint. Like I said, Mariah, JD, all her tour dancers, the wardrobe people, the people that was really there for all the different shit. Pharrell is in, like, everybody's in the motherfucker. So it's a really good documentary. I was happy to see it.
I'm gonna definitely put that on my watch list for this week.
And like I said, I always fucked with Janet. Janet was always one of my, I used to have her posters on my ceiling in my room and shit. And it's just like, yeah, I always fucked with Janet Jackson. Like, she was just always it. So it was a dope ass documentary.
Yeah.
Everybody should watch it. Even if you wasn't like really around or like old enough to really remember or know. Like, a lot of people really don't know that like when you see all these records that Drake is breaking, they be Janet records.
Yeah.
That most songs on the Billboard at one time, and she like Jimmy Jam said it on the joint. She had the biggest opening tour in music history, and that record still stands.
Yeah.
Rhythm Nation tour. Like, that shit is crazy. Like, Janet really, really came out and like tore it the fuck up.
Yeah.
They had Paul Abdul in the joint, like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody in the joint. It's a good documentary.
Who produced the documentary? What network?
Oh, Lifetime.
Lifetime, okay.
You know, Lifetime has a knack for bad movies and good documentaries. So
it's like, y'all, why don't, like, hey, Lifetime, here's an idea. Why don't we have the documentary team work on the movies?
Yo. What's crazy is right before the Janet documentary started, the end of Salt and Pepper movie
was coming on.
And because, you know, the shit started at 8 o'clock. The Salt and Pepper shit was like 6 to 8.
Yeah.
So I watched like the last 10, 15 minutes of Salt and Pepper, and I'm like, this shit is
This is
god
awful.
awful.
Damn, this is bad.
This shit is terrible. Pepper don't look like Pepper. Salt don't look like
Pepper
Salt.
looking like Peppa Pig.
Yeah, well, have you seen him recently?
No.
Yeah, Salt gained like mad weight.
Damn.
Yeah, too much salt.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Too much sodium.
Yeah, fucking high blood pressure. You know what I'm saying?
And I believe that's the movie that Spinderella was.
Spinderella wasn't in.
Yeah, it wasn't in. They just like
They just acted like the bitch wasn't
yeah,
part
like
of
no, that never happened.
Oh, we gotta
DJ,
talk about DJ Flex. Yeah, no damn Spinderella back then.
Bug Star Ski was the DJ.
Love Bug was all over the place back in the day. But yeah, the one thing with the Janet documentary, she did not acknowledge Bobby Brown.
Yeah, don't be fronting on Bobby.
Yeah, so us true Janet fans was like kind of happy, but kind of like, all right, bitch, you lying. You know what I'm saying? So, you got any other topics over there? I feel like there was something else.
Talked about Cardi B. Talked about Janet Jackson, Wallow. We didn't talk about the NFL playoffs, the championship
Oh my
round.
God, man, listen.
Chiefs game was strange.
I started out to take a parlay that was like big on the Chiefs being like big winners and a lot going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I didn't. When the Chiefs came out, first touchdown to Tyreek Hill, second touchdown to Kelsey, third touchdown on the third drive, up 21-3. I'm like, yeah, this is about to be a power washing.
And it was going crazy. And they had an opportunity to get another touchdown right before the half.
And that was just a weird.
That swung the whole shit.
I said it to Lee. I'm like, that weird ass play, them not getting in the end zone, that's type of shit that just swings it all around. Because the Bills had already scored. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was 21-10. So it was like right there, you score, all right, you up 28-10 or 24-10. Y'all come out, and it was almost like they just literally stopped. Like they just stopped knowing how to play football.
Yeah, literally.
Essentially, in the second half. Joe Burrow is it.
He's the guy.
Like Joe Burrow is on his way to being like, I said it before, they need a big head white quarterback.
And he
I think
delivered.
Tom Brady might be finished.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers can't get out of the fucking NFC. It's looking like it's gonna be Joe Burrow and Josh Allen going forward. Like those are our big head legacies. Yeah. You know.
Did you see the Jimmy Garoppolo meme that's floating around with the Kanye lyrics on it? I feel the pressure under more scrutiny, and what I do act more stupidly. They They are killing Jimmy G on the internet right now.
That was some Jimmy G shit. That was perfect Jimmy G.
Yeah.
I told y'all before the game, I'm like, yo, I trust Matt Stafford more than I trust Jimmy Garoppolo.
Let's do this.
That's just me.
When Matt Stafford first got traded to the Rams, I was on Twitter. I talked about, I said, yo, this is a significant upgrade over Jared Goff. I believe this would make them a favorite to go deep in the playoffs, probably go to the Super Bowl. Motherfuckers literally told me that he mid and he ain't go to the playoffs for 10 years in Detroit and this and this. And I'm just like, yo, this is the casual sports fan type of a take that somebody would throw out there, because if you were watching him play football, you realized everything was wrong with that team except him and Megatron.
I don't know if you remember. Do you remember who actually like agreed with you in that situation? It was me and Rich.
Yeah.
Like me and Rich was both like, yo, like, I'm like, Matt Stafford throws for 4,700 yards every season.
Every year.
No matter who the fuck is over there. So I'm like, you upgrade him and give him a real staff with a real goal. And once they made the whole situation where they got Jalen Ramsey and Odell and Von Miller, I'm just like, the Rams are set. They're straight. They got Aaron Donald over. Like, they're set. Their defense is good. Their offense is good. So it's like
I was talking to Pastor Carl last night, and I'm like, yo, the Rams went all in this season with the understanding that we might not get another shot because we already mortgaged the future to get the quarterback and to get Jalen Ramsey.
You know they don't have like a first round pick to like
forever.
To like 24 or 25 or some shit like that. Yeah.
Like forever. They found people on the trade market, which was the quarterback. They found people on free agent on the waiver wire, Odell. They got people from free agency, Von Miller. And then they pulled Eric Weddle out the graveyard. He was retired. Pulled Eric Weddle out the graveyard middle of the season, and he's playing like a damn all-pro at safety again. So it's just like, yo, they did everything right. Sean McVay is really that.
Yeah.
He's really that. The Rams been in Super Bowl 2 times in 4 years. The fact that he manicured them to a Super Bowl with Jared Goff terrible as the quarterback was commendable enough. But Matt Stafford is that guy.
I
man.
will say this: I personally had the Rams winning yesterday over the Niners. Yeah, not with the spread. I just had the Rams winning. I just knew that I felt the Rams were going to win that game. I did not see the Bengals beating the Chiefs.
Nobody
in the fashion of which they just completely shut them out for a half.
I can't say nobody did. A few people did. There was a couple people. I think Ryan Clark and Orlovsky. I think they both picked the Bengals on First Take.
Somebody on FanDuel put in a $20 free bet, a $20 bonus bet, and he correctly picked both scores. He had the Bengals 27, Chiefs 24, and he had the Rams 20, Niners 17. That motherfucker won $580,000
off $20
off a $20 free
$20 free bet. That's major.
That's fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
Them correct score, Jones.
Yeah, they hit different.
In one of my Jones, I had Jimmy Garoppolo under 232 and a half yards, and he finished with 232. Because when he had 226, I'm like, oh, I'm not getting this fucking Jones. And when I came back and looked, I'm like, oh, shit. He finished with 232. I won that shit by a half a yard. So it's like, it'd be cool to having some money on it, whatever. Not getting too crazy out here. I'm trying not to. But let me ask you this. Super Bowl. In SoFi.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. The what we need is the Super Bowl in the Dallas Stadium. But Super Bowl in SoFi 2 Sundays from now. Not next Sunday, because next Sunday is your live show.
TRPE live show.
Go to Ticketmaster. There is few tickets left.
Go to Ticketmaster,
man. Get your tickets. Next Sunday, February 6th. The Sunday after that is the Super Bowl.
Got exclusive merch release during the event.
Oh, the merch is flying.
Yeah. We already got about 15 pre-orders in for not 15 items, 15 orders in. A lot of people ordering multiple items, 2 hats, a hat and a sweater, whatever. So get y'all items.
I saw the order for it and I came in here for 3 hats. I'm just like, it's only 80 of these motherfuckers. Like,
so it's like, so we getting down to it. And the green and the blue are flying. Those are the main ones that's selling. We got black with the gold logo that's on the sweatshirt, so it matches up perfectly. And then we got a red one also that has the white logo, all red joint. I know people are like hot and cold on red sometimes, but it's a cool color in the hat or whatever like that. So if y'all want to get the merch, hit me on IG. You could DM me cdiddy.trpe, hit me on IG, or you could text 215-600-1607. I'll get right back to you with the order information. What you got to do, you got to basically be PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App ready to send your bread. And then if you come into the live show Sunday, your merch will be sitting there waiting for you to pick it up. You just check in, show your order to the person that's going to be running the merch table, pick your order up, and then you done for the night. And if you are pre-ordering but you're not going to be at the live show for any reason, we'll ship it out to you on Monday.
Absolutely.
So that's that. The live show is coming together lovely. Shout out to we can announce this now. This is show before the week is all. Okay. One Fam Radio is going to be joining us at the live show. They're going to be opening up for us. They got their own set. Everything is locked in, good to go. So y'all basically going to get 2 pods for one, and then we're going to come in, close out the show, do our thing with some different special guests, call some people about the crowd, bring some folks on stage, things like that. And our official sponsor for the show is Southern Wine and Spirits. We actually have now announced the product, which is going to be Crown Royal. It's going to be a Crown Royal sampling from 7:30 to 8:30 when the doors open, and the merch table will be there at 7:30 open, ready for y'all. Anybody that don't want to pre-order, that want to pick up their merch or check it out in person when they get there, we had a merch table operational all night, so we ain't got to scramble like we did last time trying to get everybody to grab stuff before they leave out and everything like that. So that's gonna be that. So everything is pretty much lined up for the live show. We are going to give some tickets away later in the week. I got 2 pairs of tickets that I'm gonna give away later in the week for do some TRP trivia or something like that. And that's pretty much that. But if you don't have tickets yet, go to Ticketmaster.com, search TRPE, pop right up. Or you could go to punchlinephilly.com and, just go to the date February 6th, and the tickets available there. Like we said, very, very, very limited tickets left. Our TRP Nation, TRP VIPs really, really fuck with us. So, they've done their thing far and away. So it's very limited tickets left. So get yours if you don't got them yet.
I was going to ask to close this out, because we're not doing another full show until
after the
day after the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Because the live show will be the next real show.
Right.
I think. Anyway.
Possibly.
Who knows? We own this shit. What is your Super Bowl prediction?
I like the Rams to win it. I'm going to go 27-20 Rams.
27-20 Rams. Okay. I think we have an absolute shootout. I'm going 38 to 31.
38 to 31.
Bengals.
Nice. 38-31 Bengals, and then I got 27-20 Rams.
Although I want to see the Rams win.
I want to see
I like the Rams' whole staff.
I fuck with everybody on the team.
I fuck with everybody over there. But I like what Joe Burrow, this big head white motherfucker, I like what they got going on.
I just like the idea of Joe Burrow literally coming in the league and just dropping his nuts on the whole league and, pushing a franchise that's basically been inept for the better part of 30 years. Yeah, they had some playoff runs during the Marvin Lewis era and all of that, but they also had some nonsense going on also, and this is just solidifying a whole new regime for the Bengals. And, you would imagine that with a quarterback that young, with that much moxie, with a wide receiver that he's familiar with from college, that's that talented, that great, that, in the way that they've structured their defense and everything like that, you would imagine that this is a team that's going to be making a run for the Super Bowl every year for the next 10 years.
Yeah, like I had Jamar Chase to score a touchdown anytime today, so I was happy when he got his finally. It's crazy to think that they won 4 games. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 4 games last year. Them motherfuckers, at one point during this season, them and the Jaguars together were both plus 10,000 to win the Super Bowl. Jesus. Crazy to think.
And they were 10-7 this season.
Yeah.
But when it came down to it, they had the key to beating Kansas City, beat them twice in a matter of 4 weeks or whatever the case may be. They just come prepared to play, and they never say die.
Kansas City was just on some Space Jam shit. And
that shit
they
was so
literally
strange,
there were so many like dropped passes. I was just like, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
That Tyreek Hill play right before the half ended was just so weird because
that
it's
was
like
bizarre.
We got one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the league. Run a draw or just run a
The
straight
crazy part is
quarterback
the right
sneak.
side of the field was wide the fuck open, and Patrick Mahomes just did not run. And it's so bizarre because he's quick to take the fuck off.
Yeah,
and it's like I don't know what to say about that. I felt bad for Andy Reid because we fuck with Big Red, but
yeah, that's our guy.
Yeah, that fucks with Andy Reid, but it just I'm happy for Joe Burrow. Like you know what I'm saying, like seeing a nigga just come along, and it's crazy to think now he has a shot. No quarterback in like history. It's crazy because when I saw this, I was like, this can't be true. There isn't a quarterback in history who has won a Heisman, a national championship, and won a Super Bowl.
Really?
He has a chance to do it all in 3 years. I'm like, damn.
That's insane.
Crazy, right?
That's insane.
Think about it. Tom Brady wins all the fucking Super Bowls. He ain't win no fucking Heisman.
Right.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers ain't win no fucking Heisman.
Damn.
Peyton won a Heisman. He ain't win no fucking national championship.
Yeah.
Like, he's the only... There's no quarterback who's won a national championship, a Heisman, and a Super Bowl. And Joe Burrow really can do that shit in a fucking 1,000-day span. That's crazy.
That's
as
insanity,
shit.
man.
It's wild.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I'm picking the Rams, but I don't have a dog in this race. So if the Bengals win, more power to them. I fuck with Jay Herbo.
That's kind of how, and I look at it like this: Von Miller already got a Super Bowl MVP, already won a championship. Matt Stafford, for his lineage, I want to see him get one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Aaron Donald, he's the highest paid defensive player every other fucking year, and all his fucking defensive player of the year was he's going to be straight his whole life. Jalen Ramsey and Odell Beckham, it don't matter if they win or lose, they're going to be sassy as ever. It's just, I think that Joe Burrow getting this solidifies like, damn, like number one pick out of LSU after a national chip. Like when they said it couldn't be done, I came to a team that was a 2-win team. They won 2 years the year before they picked him.
Yeah.
2 games, I mean.
2 games the year.
Then won 4 games his first year. And like I came in here when it was shit, and we in a couple years bubbled that back.
Turn shit into sugar.
Turn shit into sugar. What Mark Zuma? Garbage in the goal. Like it would be dope to see like the culmination of it all.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
So
like I said, I'm picking the Rams, but either
maybe
way,
they could trade Joe Burrow to the Rams, and that way I'm happy because everybody
wins.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe they could do that. But yeah, I'm going to absolute shootout, and the Bengals win it.
That'd be fire.
Yeah,
That'd be fire.
so we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Peace.
I'm out of here.